With a sweep of the back-to-back, the Montreal Canadiens return home tonight, looking to extend that win streak to 3 games as they welcome the Seattle Kraken to the Bell Center. And look who's back. Well, the Habs better enjoy that home cooking while they can, because following tonight's game against Seattle, 6 of their next 7 games are on the road. And talk about a big boost. Yes, Juraj Slafkovsky is back in the lineup after missing the last 3 games with an upper body injury. He says he's feeling 100%. And Shane Wright and the Kraken are kicking off a 5-game road trip tonight in Montreal, looking to snap a 3-game winless skid. And with that, we welcome you to Molson Canadiens Hockey here on TSN. I'm your host, Laura Dykin, joined alongside our analyst, Cheryl Pounder. And look at those Canadiens riding their first win streak of the season, Cheryl.
Yeah, and you gotta love their specialty teams, right, LD? Look at the PK, 3rd in the league, the power play coming off another game where they had a goal, 7th in the league, looking for that kind of play again tonight.
Nick Suzuki, he's got that 7-game point streak entering play tonight, and Cole Caulfield have been leading the way offensively. And yes, Caulfield's fantastic start to the season continues. As you can see, only Nico Hischier has scored more goals this season entering play tonight. We can see if Caulfield can keep it going as we turn it over now to Brian Mudryk and Frankie Corrado in Montreal.
Laura, it's great to see Cole Caulfield lighting things up. Last season, he had a career-high 28 goals, and keep in mind, maybe the worst shooting percentage in NHL history. I might be making that up, but it wasn't very good. This year, Caulfield's rolling. 2 of those goals you talked about, game-winning goals, and Martin Saint-Louis has been pretty happy with his sniper.
Everything is going in for Cole Caulfield, and that's great because that translates to more power play success, more 5-on-5 scoring. The shot is his tool, and there is 0 hesitation on his tool this season. Last year, coming off the shoulder surgery, you could see the quantity was there, the quality was there. He just didn't have that extra pop to have that quick release and overpower a goaltender, beat the goaltender as much as he would have liked. It was still productive, it was still 28 goals. But now this year, with another year after the surgery, it feels like that quick release is back, and that quick twitch is able to overpower goaltenders, beat goaltenders. That's great news for Cole Caulfield. There is 0 hesitation on his shot this year.
Last year, Montreal took both meetings versus Seattle, outscoring them in the first period of both games, 5-0. Laura.
All right, and with the return of Slafkovsky, some changes coming to the lines. Martin Saint-Louis keeping that first line together as well as the third. So Slafkovsky will be on with Newhook as well as Armia, while Oliver Kapanen moves down to the 4th. Last but not least, Struble and Mailloux changing D partners from what we saw Sunday in that win over the Flyers. So we mentioned Caulfield, we mentioned Suzuki, but the thing with Montreal these days, getting some secondary scoring, which is always a good thing. We see with Jake Evans in particular, he's now scored in back-to-back games. What have you liked about his game recently?
Well, I've liked the entire line. You know, they're a veteran line that likes to get to the dirty areas on the ice. Listen, this guy is earning a contract right now, and it's the details, not just on the puck, but off of the puck for Jake Evans. And we put together a pack here to kind of display that, to show the areas of his game. I mean, whether he's using his stick to push up the wall, look at this possession. He's going to draw players' coverage to him, so he works it from high to low, but he doesn't stand around. He gets back available. This is a guy that knows exactly where he is on the ice to be able to get to the pockets and the seams. So that's IQ. How about through neutral ice? This route that he takes, little shoulder check there. Again, he knows exactly where the pressure is to gain his speed. How about a little exit coming out of his own zone, a little deception? You want to play off the rush? You need that. You also have to find a way to get net front. Look at his positioning in behind coverage here, but this is what I love. The recovery. Get your feet moving, get that inside position, and how about on his goal? He's the one that advances the puck. So that's a touch number 1. How about touch number 2? And then, of course, it might have been a little slow, everyone, but touch number 3 comes to him. This is a guy that has a real active stick. He's been absolutely critical on the PK because he cuts the ice in half. He can squeeze to one side. So when you talk about someone like Jake Evans, I thought that his goal in particular, you know, advancing from his own zone. He read that Gallagher was moving, right? He knew he'd get to that puck first.
Slowly but surely. We said it was like a curling assist there with the stick breaking, but hey, it counted, and the Montreal Canadiens got the win. Montreal playing on Halloween, but on the road. There are a lot of fans dressed up for this one. We'll drop the puck right after this. Or we'll pop the puck. Starting goaltenders for tonight's game. And yes, Sam Montembeault is back in action. He started Saturday, got the win over the Blues, making 27 saves. And then he got the second game of the back-to-back off on Sunday. And on the other side of things, Joey Daccord making his third straight start. He's lost the last two. He's never beat Montreal in his career, although he does sport a 1.78 goals against in his 2 games against the Canadiens. So that's how it all stacks up. It's time to get this one started. So again, it's off to the Bell Center, beautiful Montreal, where again we find Brian and Frankie.
Laura, welcome to Montreal on this Tuesday night for the Habs. 2 massive wins on the weekend, and now their 3rd game in 4 nights. The Seattle Kraken, for them, game 1 of a 5-game road trip. The big story, Juraj Slafkovsky back in the lineup for Montreal. However, Kirby Dach stays on that top line with Caulfield and Suzuki.
As he should, because Kirby Dach's game has found a little more comfort playing the wing. Listen, we all know he's coming back from ACL surgery. You put him down the middle of the ice, there's so much responsibility that goes with that. Now he's on the wing, you alleviate a little of that responsibility, and he gets freed up to play his game a little bit more, find some offense. I like the decision to keep Kirby Dach on the top line and let Juraj Slafkovsky go on the second line and see if he can drive that line, do a little more of the gritty work.
Slafkovsky will play with Newhook and Armia tonight. Puck dropped underway here at the Bell Center. And Seattle kicking off their 5-game road trip, coming off a loss. Winless in their last 3. Their last game a loss to Carolina back on Saturday. As Matty Benier centers, and Jordan Eberle was cutting in, poked away by Samuel Montembeault, and then poked out of play. These key parts of the game are presented by Napa Auto Parts.
For the Seattle Kraken, be road trip ready. They're starting a 5-game road trip. You want to get those points early on. And for the Montreal Canadiens, have a responsible night. Take care of the puck, the same kind of defensive effort. You just had 2 solid games in a row. Do not let this big game be a trap game or a mental letdown game.
Montembeault, the win versus St. Louis Saturday, and then a night later, Caden Primo, his first win of the season in Philadelphia. And trying to build off that as Burakovsky off the draw, hit it right to Tolvin, and he missed. That drive score! The point shot from the far boards deflected and in, and Seattle with a great start, 1-0 on the road.
Well, it starts with a face-off win for the Seattle Kraken, and they funnel this puck to the net in a hurry. Jamie Alexiak, the big defenseman who's got pretty good hands for a big guy, he's just going to filter this puck on the net. It's a chance Tolvanen can't put it in, and then this just goes off the backside of Mike Matheson. As a defenseman, you're trying to face the puck and the player. Matheson faces Tolvanen, doesn't see where the puck is going. It goes off his backside. It's in the back of the net. Jamie Alexiak has his first goal of the year.
Just 2 goals last season, his first of the year, and that's a great start for Seattle, frankly. We talked about it off the top. Last season, Montreal took both games, and Seattle was outscored 5-0 in the first period, so a good start for them, not even a minute in.
And the biggest challenge for a defenseman in that situation, you want to face the puck, you want to face the player, you pick one or the other, you don't see the puck, and it's off you in the net.
Off the steal, Tolvanen, the backhand in. The Kraken outshot in that first period, an eventual loss to the Hurricanes, 14-5 back on Saturday, so a better start for them as Suzuki finds the puck. He'll rip it in. Yoel Armia in the corner was fishing for it, dug out and sent up to Brandon Tanev. Tanev checked by Lane Hudson. There's David Savard helping out his young blue liner as they're paired up tonight. Suzuki trying to dig it free as well. Nick Suzuki on a 7-game point streak, 11 points over those 7 games. The captain offensively has been getting it done. Yoel Armia in his own zone. Plays it away from Karche as he applied the body. Newhook passing his skates. Gets it to Juraj Slafkovsky back in the lineup for Montreal and 100%. As he talked to the media earlier today, he said, it wasn't my shoulders, it never was. It was kind of a weird injury, something he's never dealt with before. Nothing serious, he's 100%, and he's ready to go. And he's going to try drive play with this line here tonight.
And he wouldn't tell us exactly what the injury was, but he said, it's not my shoulder. He kind of put on a little bit of a show this morning after morning skate.
He's like, I'm not telling you guys, but I'm just fine, thank you very much. And regardless, great to see big number 20 back in the lineup tonight. Arbor Xhekaj at center. Cross ice Slafkovsky, little poke to Newhook, and he's going to work it in.
It's a good point, Brian, about Slafkovsky driving a line, because he's had Kirby Dach last year when he was healthy. He's had Nick Suzuki. Both those players, when they're healthy and playing well, really drive a line, so he'll have to do some of that tonight.
And there's Shane Wright, the 4th overall pick, playing his first game ever at the Bell Center. Remember, drafted in this building when Slafkovsky went first. Good job by Schwartz getting back defensively, breaking up that chance for Montreal. Heineman digging for it. Good job. Gallagher steals. Brendan Gallagher cutting in. Forehand, and he missed. And Montour was pleading his case. He was the guy knocked down. Matheson in front. And right to Bjorkstrand. Comes to Struble. He's going to jam it in. Gallagher behind the net. Waiting. Gallagher flips it to the point. There's Matheson. Mike Matheson weaves, shoots. And through traffic, Joey Daccord will find that as Daccord making his 3rd straight start for Seattle.
Oh, Jamie Alexiak, 6'7", 250 pounds. He moves well for a big guy. He's got pretty good hands, and just off his back foot, fires this over to the net, and there's just enough traffic. And Mike Matheson, who gets caught somewhere in the middle between Tolvanen and blocking that shot, ends up getting it redirected off of him in the net.
Seattle off the draw, fired in by McCann. Led the team last year in scoring. He's off to a great start again this year. Comes in with 5 goals, 12 points for the Kraken. Adam Larsson back at center. He'll work it across. Fired in by Riker Evans. Weird bounce in front, but Hudson alertly picks it up and takes it away. Plays it around the boards, but there's the captain, Eberle. 2nd captain in Kraken history. Giordano and now Jordan Eberle proudly wearing the C for Seattle. McCann creating some space, trying to get away from Hudson. McCann dishes to Eberle. Benier sets up in front, comes to the point. Reshot, score! Great shot from the blue line. Riker Evans let it fly, and 2-0 Seattle.
This looked like it changed directions in front of the net, maybe ever so slightly, but Jared McCann doing a nice job working on Lane Hudson, and as this puck goes behind the net, watch McCann, he goes right into the high slot area, and that's a point shot by Riker Evans, who spent a lot of last year in the American Hockey League, had a really good year. It definitely changes directions before it gets to Montembeault, And it looks like it either hits Beniers or McCann. Regardless, there's traffic in front, and that's 2 deflected shots that get past Montembeault. Not even 4 minutes into this game, it's 2-0 Seattle.
Frankie, 2 goals on 2 shots as the Habs need a response, and it looks like Doc's lost his skate blade. So he's trying desperately to get off the ice, and that is always an awkward feeling. Seattle trying to take advantage. Puck to the side of the net. Montembeault found it, able to freeze. Burakovsky was there, and finally Doc gets off. Man, that is tough to watch. And it allowed Seattle to have that rush.
There's no easy way for a player to get off the ice when you lose your blade. And now the blades are so easily interchangeable. They come off so easily. You know, for Sam Montembeault, it's 2 shots, it's 2 goals, but it's 2 tipped shots that go in. Not exactly an easy start for him as Kirby Dach goes flying into the boards in a forecheck and loses his skate blade. Like, how do you get off the ice? Actually, he did a pretty good job getting off.
You don't really work on that in practice. Here's Suzuki trying to chip it to himself. Burakovsky picks it up. In front, Tolvanen fires, blocks. Second attempt got through. Montembeault steers that into the corner. Suzuki for Armia. Alexiak on the puck at center. So we'll see who gets the official goal, but right now it looks like 2 defensemen getting on the board for Seattle. Nice move, Newhook walks it in. Newhook puts it in deep. He goes to work on Montour. Montour jams into Slafkovsky. Newhook back on his skates. Slafkovsky going to work. Burakovsky there as well. Slafkovsky hits him.
He looks fresh, doesn't he? Like, that's a nice battle for Slafkovsky. Good stick. Pretty competitive early on.
That's what Marty St. Louis talked about, Slafkovsky using that body on the forecheck. As that drive, Slafkovsky, the man in there trying to dig it free, and that's what Uri Slafkovsky brings to this team. He's big, he loves to get into the forecheck, and that O-zone possession is something he could try and drive tonight.
And that's how he can manufacture something, similar to how Seattle's done.
Arber Xhekaj, coast to coast, it's loose, right behind the cord. What a way to get his first of the season. Arber Xhekaj that close. The cord didn't see it. It was sitting in the blue paint right behind him, and it stayed out. Tanev the other way for Seattle. Through center to the right side. Yanni Gourde skate again. There's Slafkovsky. They'll check Gourde. Xhekaj hits him as well. In comes Tanev. He's checked by Mailloux. Yanni Gourde, the Quebec native, back in his home province. Morgan for Gourde. Weak one towards the net, picked off by Logan Mailloux.
Mailloux had to be really careful there with Brandon Tanev right behind him. If he picks that stick, he's going to have a wide open net, and Montembeault wouldn't have been expecting that.
Yanni Gourde trying to get around Xhekaj, and a penalty coming up as Gourde's drawn a penalty. Arber Xhekaj having a few words with Gourde, who always plays well in his home province and plays well against the Montreal Canadiens. 15 points in 20 career games coming into tonight. Kirby Dach to the box. Seattle with a great start. 2 goals from the back end, and they're on the power play when we come back.
for Seattle, and they get their first power play opportunity of the game as it's Kirby Dach going into the box for roughing. And there's Kirby Dach and Ty Kartye. Kartye has the first one, but Dach gets him up high. That's the one that the officials see. So he's off to the box, and there's Juraj Slafkovsky in front of the net, causing a little commotion. Listen, and here's Arber Xhekaj. Nice rush, and the puck's just sitting there on the goal line. Good recognition by Mahura to get it off, and doesn't get past the court.
Seattle off the draw. Tolvanen plays it up to the blue line. There's Riker Evans, works it down low, cutting in the shot, and that was stopped as Eberle driving play. Tolvanen in the corner. McCann, Evans. Matty Beniers, little backhand, keeps the play alive. Savard hits Tolvanen. Matheson able to chip it to Jake Evans. And Jake Evans, some room up that right side. He'll skate it up short-handed. Evans, good job to chip and chase in. Montreal's PK, a bright spot this year. Third in the NHL, over 90% coming into tonight. Kraken trying to set it up. There's Beniers in the corner. Checked down by Lane Hudson. And then Hudson taken down. Tolvanen hustling, can't keep it in as Seattle 0 for 3 in the power play back on Saturday in that loss to Carolina.
And for Montreal, you get 2 wins on the weekend. You go 6 for 6 on the penalty kill. That is the recipe to win more games, and penalty kill has been excellent. It's communication, it's compete level, willingness to block shots, all that together.
Janner Stevenson, some pace over the blue line. Stevenson, round the net, centering feet in front, score! Beautiful setup, blocked in. Falling down was Jaden Schwartz, but he buries a power play goal, and it's 3-0 Seattle.
This is way too easy for the Seattle Kraken. It should not be this easy to get a prime-time shot in this area of the ice, the slot area, but that's exactly what happens for the Seattle Kraken. Good speed as they break in. Chandler Stevenson, that's easy to walk right through, and as he comes around the net, everyone thinks he's going around the net, but he just slides it right through all the Montreal players, and Jaden Schwartz coming downhill. No one sees him. That part of the ice has to be defended way better. That's been part of what's made the penalty kill so good for the Habs, not on that instance, and it's 3-0 Seattle.
Second of the season for Schwartz, who won a Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues back in 2019, and they're coming again. Here's Kartye. Kartye centering feed, had Yanni Gourde in his sights, and he couldn't get a stick on the puck. 3 goals on 6 shots here for Seattle. A dream start to kick off their road trip.
I mean, give your goaltender a chance, too. It's not exactly like it's been shots from the outside.
Arber Xhekaj cutting in, tried the backhand feed, broken up by Montour. Tanev, nice little pass with the leg, scored, up ahead. Alexiak in, shoots, glove down, Montembeault. As Alexiak looking for his second of the period.
That's a big save for Montembeault. You've just let in 3 goals on 6 shots. And this is one you make. And look at the quick transition for Seattle. This is what their team is all about. Speed up the ice. The puck is going north in a hurry. And there he is, the big body, Jamie Alexiak, again getting in on the rush. That time inside the dots. Really good shooting spot on the ice. Montembeault snags it down. Nice to see the confidence for him where if that one goes in, the game starts feeling like it's really getting out of hand for him. And maybe we're looking at Caden Primo again.
Had just 2 goals all last season, Alexiak. Nearly had 2 in the opening 10 minutes of this hockey game and period. Matheson flips out to center. Larson couldn't handle it. Larson, little backhand. Tolvanen. Checked by Matheson. Burakovsky on the puck first, behind the net. Burakovsky skates it up top, still with it. Burakovsky, fan on the chance. Here's Newhook. Newhook with some speed. Newhook in. Foreto, what a stop. Joey Daccorda, big save on Alex Newhook. Worked back in by Montreal. Newhook, 5 points in 7 career games versus Seattle, and he nearly had one there. Armia fighting for the puck with Newhook down low. In comes Kirby Dach, far boards. Newhook trying to get it back to Dach. Burakovsky lost it in his skates. There's Armia. Backhand dish, Kirby Dach. Dach in the corner, checked by Larson. Jake Evans on the puck below the goal line. He'll play it up top. Struble floats one in, never got through, comes to Larson. Matheson trying to knock it down. He gambled, and in comes Stevenson. Stevenson, good job. Struble got back and bailed out Matheson to help him out. Backhand feed in front, picked up by Beniers. Beniers plays it up. Josh Mahura's shot, and that hit a body, never made its way through. Gallagher at center. Brendan Gallagher had quite the game versus Philadelphia. Scored one off the shin pads, and then that assist with the shattered stick, setting up Jake Evans in the game as well.
If he could draw it up, I think that's exactly how he would draw it up.
You got Gallagher. Beniers, former Rookie of the Year in the NHL, trying to power in. There's Everly. Jordan Everly turns, spins, shoots it in. Savard, good check there, allowing Anderson to claim the puck. Anderson can clear. Everly there. Good effort. Everly works it right back in. Mahura. Everly. Backhand feed. That was picked off by Lane Hudson, and Montreal trying to transition quickly.
That's two. You got to get the puck in there. That's twice now. Josh Anderson, full possession. He doesn't get out of his zone the first time. That time he's so close to the red line. Luckily, Seattle doesn't turn it back quickly.
Arber Xhekaj back in his own zone. Pass right in front. Score! Wow, bang, bang play, and this time Oliver Bjorkstrand buries it. His third of the season, and it's 4-0.
20 goals the last 2 seasons in a row for Oliver Bjorkstrand. He's one of those quiet goal scorers, and this just comes off a bad turnover by Arber Xhekaj. You cannot give the puck away like this. It goes right to Jaden Schwartz. He's just trying to get it over to his partner. There's not enough on it. It gets read perfectly, and you can't have Oliver Bjorkstrand right in that area of the ice. Another prime quality chance for the Seattle Kraken. And Marty St. Louis is going to call a timeout here. This has not been a good start for the Canadiens. They're down 4-0.
Frankie had the tough game versus the Rangers, and then they had some time to work on things at Brassard. Practice, get back to that defensive play. You know, we were chatting about this walking up to the broadcast booth. You played 2 outstanding games. The one in Philly maybe closer than you wanted. You want to come out and try win that 3rd straight and come up with a big effort, and obviously not the start the head coach wanted.
And listen, it's not about some elaborate X's and O's scheme that really helps you win a game. It's limiting time and space defensively, making good plays with the puck, and they haven't done those 2 things so far in this game. You have 2 goals that have gone in off deflections. You have 2 goals that have gone in on, not defending the high-quality areas of the ice in front of your net. Like, what do you expect? You're down 4-0. And we talked about this had to be a responsible game for the Canadiens. You just played 2 really good ones coming off the Rangers game. It is not a responsible start so far.
4-0. Now, if you're a glass half full kind of person and a Montreal fan, a lot of hockey left.
50 minutes left, if my math is correct. I was never a good math guy, as you know. Now, we are living in an NHL world where leads come and go, multi-goal leads, so there is time to make it up. And Arber Xhekaj's game has been really good since being a healthy scratch and coming back in the lineup. It's nice to know as a player that your coach comes over to you, taps you on the shoulder, and says it's going to be okay, get back out there. And now it's up to the players to do their part.
Off the draw, there's Adam Larsson. Plays it to center. Wanted Tanev. He skated by it. Karche, little backhand in. Picked up by Hudson. Hudson for Savard. Savard up the right wing. There's Caulfield. Came into tonight second in the Rocket Richard race. Tied for second with a number of players with 8 goals. Here's Tanev, some space up the left wing. Karche cutting in. That drive wide. Yanni Gourde. Got clipped by Doc. Played up for Larsson, jammed up by Caulfield. He'll glove that to center, picked up by Tolvanen. Tolvanen, a waiver pickup a couple years ago from Nashville, a former first-round pick, and he has a cannon of a shot. Taken down there, though, by Matheson.
I think there were a lot of teams that regretted passing on Eeli Tolvanen.
Armia shot, picked up, Slafkovsky right on, stop, rebound right through the side of the net. New hook there is Slafkovsky trying to bank one in, and the Habs have drawn a penalty. Matheson. Seattle, no possession yet. Slafkovsky watched by Alexiak. Slafkovsky protects. He's taken down. So a hook, the initial call. Montreal on the power play. and looking for a much-needed spark. Their first power play coming up. Montour to the box.
Been a big part of the success so far for the Canadiens this season, and it looks very different than it did last year. Now Montreal gets their first chance on the power play in this game. 25.8%, 8th in the NHL, and it just looks like they have a plan. They have a plan off faceoffs, they have a plan on entering the zone, and it's nice to know you have option one, and if option one is not there, you're going to go to option two. We've seen that with the Canadiens, and yes, it doesn't hurt that Cole Caulfield is shooting at about 30% right now, Brian.
Caulfield 3 power play goals on the season. They were 1 for 2 in the power play versus the Flyers, and they control. There's Stock for Matheson. Mike Matheson weaves across. Suzuki, wrist shot in and out of the glove and cleared by Seattle as the Kraken this year, the 18th ranked penalty kill so far in the NHL. Here's Matheson. Drops to the captain, Suzuki. Riding that 7-game point streak coming into tonight. Cole Caulfield, back for Matheson. Over to Doc. Kirby Doc, far boards. Mike Matheson accepts the pass. Back for Doc. Doc. Newhook tried to center. Goes back Doc's way. Suzuki's in that high spot, but he'll maneuver over now to the near circle. There's Suzuki. Suzuki. Matheson. Caulfield. Cole Caulfield. Matheson at the line. Suzuki. Doc, Wade shoots, and he blistered up by Caulfield. Trying to whack it in. Off the end boards, couldn't get it towards the court. Matheson one more time at the line. Suzuki. Newhook sets up in front, battling for space. Caulfield had the one-timer. Fanned on it. Puck loose again. Caulfield right on. And that was stopped. Knocked down and finally cleared by Seattle. And Frankie, to your point off the top of the show, Caulfield seems to always find a way to even get that second opportunity across. Lane Hudson maneuvering through center. Hudson making moves, getting the crowd buzzing a little bit. Hudson skates it in, still with it. What a move, Hudson! Off the post! My goodness! What a move, looking for his first in the NHL. Gallagher with it, shooting, stopped at court. Also grazed the post there as well. Slavkovsky behind the net. Juraj Slavkovsky, he'll dish. Up top, capping it for Hudson. Time winding down. Armia, one-time rip, tries again. Armia shoots, deflected. Gallagher, side of the net, bouncing puck. Couldn't get the shot away, and it's back to 5-on-5. Montour's out. Habs still control. Armia, up top. Hudson fakes the shot. Waits, back down low. Yoel Armia, below the goal line. And Yanni Gourde has the puck, trying to settle it down. Struble pinching in. He'll chip at the puck. And finally to center. What a move from Lane Hudson. Did everything there but score. Evans cutting in. Gourde at center. Got it to Eberle. Eberle. He'll cruise in for Seattle. Little play to himself off the boards. Eberle. He'll work it in deep. Under 6 to go, first period, 4-0 Seattle. Everly, pass in front. Schwartz tried to work that in front of the net. Mahura back, no icing. Good speed, Anderson cutting in. Evans trying to knock it down. Heineman there. Larson in the corner with Evans watching him closely. Struble. He'll cut in on Beniers. Struble tries to center. Still with it in the corner. Evans in front. Heineman from a knee. Couldn't pull the trigger as Beniers has the puck. Jaden Schwartz. Little flip. Larson. Puck bouncing around. Swatted away from Beniers in time. Everly checked by Heineman. Heineman actually leads the Montreal Canadiens in hits in this young season. Heineman lone man in. Montreal changing behind the play. So a little bit of life for Montreal with that power play opportunity. The best coming from Lane Hudson on that rush.
The building just comes to life when Lane Hudson has the puck. And Emil Heineman finds himself in the slotted area. He has to get to a little bit more because we see the shot. We know it's so good. He's just got to find ways to get the quality looks now.
Montreal offside. Shots 8-8, but the damage done here in the first period. Seattle's put up 4 so far on Montembeault. What a chance for Hudson.
Unreal. Lane Hudson, his team is down 4-0, still dazzling, trying to get a little life in the building. And how do you defend this? As he cuts to the inside of the ice, real nice job dragging that to the backhand, just hits the post. And then Brendan Gallagher finds a little quiet area. This puck ends up going off the post as well. 2 chances for the Canadiens, still down 4-0.
Had a great chat with Lane Hudson earlier this morning before the skate. Just asked him about Montreal and what he's enjoyed off the ice. He smiled and said, well, restaurants. But the good news is, Mom's in town right now, so he's had some home cooking as well. He said his dad's got to watch a few games, so the Hudson family very proud of their young man.
It's amazing seeing him in the dressing room. Like, he's slender, he's small, but he's so good and so effective. It's pretty incredible to see.
But it's amazing, Frankie, he's done that since U16, U17, USA Hockey National Team program. As Caulfield right on.
Oh, it's not new to him.
No, he's done it every step of the way. Mailloux loads up, rebound, score! Cole Caulfield, make it 9 on the season. And Montreal's got some life. It's 4-1.
Make that a 3-game goal streak for Cole Caulfield as he's hanging around in front of the net. Gets a little life into this building. It's a nice job by Logan Mailloux to get this shot. And as Brandon Montour was high up into the zone, he doesn't recover back to the front of the net as quick as he can. That leaves Cole Caulfield right at the side of the net, and you know he's going to bury that one past Joey Daccord. Montreal gets a much-needed goal in this period. A little more life in the building. Cole Caulfield's got his 9th goal of the year.
Now tied with Nico Hischier with 9 atop the NHL leaders for goals in the Rocket Richard race. Wow, Cole Caulfield. We talked about the shooting percentage last year. He has come out firing hot this year, 9 and counting for Cole Caulfield. And more importantly, some life in this building here. Under 4 to go, first period. Shane Wright will start the play. Cutting in, Josh Mahura. Newhook in his own zone. Newhook hesitates, nearly gave it away. Look out, McCann spinning, and a weak one missed the mark. So Mailloux getting an assist on the Caulfield goal. That drive, Borgen, it hit Doc, and Newhook's trying to fly in. He got taken down by Borgen. Play continues. Kirby Doc. Armia. Habs changing. Armia delays, buying his teammates some time. Kirby Doc up for Hudson. Hudson across. Savard. Bjorkstrand. He'll pick it up. Savard checking him. Hudson lone man back. Yanni Gourde jumps on the ice and shoots. Stop Montembeault. And Hudson able to clean up the mess in front and steer it aside. Here's Heineman. Heineman through center. He'll chip and skate after it. He gets taken down. Back on his skates in the corner. And a penalty coming up. Pass in front. Oh, it just missed Hudson as Montembeault races to the bench for the extra attacker. Riker Evans will be going to the box on the delayed penalty. So Montreal trying to strike here late and get back in it with 2:11 to go in the period. Here's Suzuki at center. He'll drop it back for Hudson. Back to the captain. Suzuki over the line. Hudson wanted that give and go. Seattle gets possession. So with 1:59 to go, it'll be Riker Evans going to the box and Montreal an opportunity on the power play.
Well, this is how you gain momentum. You get a goal, then everyone starts moving their feet a little bit more. Emil Heineman, just a chip and chase, but it forces Riker Evans to have to take a penalty. He drops his stick. That doesn't matter. Montreal's back to the power play. Cole Caulfield looks to stay red hot, as now he's tied Nico Hischier for the most goals in the NHL at 9 this season, and a great chance to really get Montreal back in the game with just under 2 minutes left to go in the first period.
0 for 1, 3 shots. Matheson, wrister, kicked aside, and right by Newhook. Looking for that rebound. Suzuki able to hold his own. Suzuki into the corner. Pass across, Caulfield, but the other 13 had him. Took it away in time. Matheson. Suzuki. Little delay. Kirby Doc. Caulfield hopped off his stick. Caulfield below the goal line. Spins away from traffic. Up for Matheson. Matheson. Suzuki. Far circle. Nick Suzuki. Kirby Doc. Up for Matheson. Crowd getting into it. Caulfield. Matheson. Suzuki. Waits, shoots, and Decourt down and rebound through the crease. Doc swatted it right through, and Newhook was taken down. Caulfield on the puck for Montreal. Suzuki glides in. Matheson off his skate to the stick. He controls. Final minute, Bell Center, first period. Habs trying to get one late. Caulfield in a 4-1 Seattle lead. Cole Caulfield maneuvers at the line, hands it off. Matheson in, shoots, stopped by Decourt. And again, Newhook getting punished in front. Tanner Stevenson trying to clear. 38 seconds left in the minor penalty. Good speed, Caulfield, then he got taken down by Tanev. Newhook. Kirby Doc shoots it in. Decourt out to play the puck, and he will into the corner. Centering feed, look out, the tip job in front. Newhook digging for it. What a chance, Suzuki. And Decourt was ready.
That is a great job by Montreal's power play. It looks dangerous. It looks like it's always ready to be threatening. That's exactly how you build momentum through the power play.
That drive, Armia missed. Just a few seconds left in the period. What a start for Seattle. They go up 4-0, and then the response from Cole Caulfield.
It's a big hill to climb, but the team answered back after Marty St. Louis called that timeout. They look completely different after they settled down. You're down 3 goals, but you've got a little juice now. Your legs are going. You have 40 minutes to climb your way back into this game.
Molson Canadiens hockey on TSN. Intermission is coming up next as the Kraken a 4-1 advantage. Your intermission featuring Laura, Cheryl, and Kenzie here at the Bell Center.
want a fright on Halloween night? You get to watch the Jets. They've lost 5 in a row, and no more Stephon Diggs for the AFC South leading Texans. He's out for the season after busting up his knee. But yes, we've got Thursday Night Football for you coming your way. TSN CTV2. Sorry, Jets fans. And yeah, it was a bit of a spooky start for Montreal in this one as well. Cheryl and Laura back with you inside the TSN studio. And, you know, we're kind of seeing those bad habits resurface again for the Montreal Canadiens over their 2-game winning streak. You know, they were getting off to fast starts themselves.
Yep.
They didn't allow a power play goal as well, but both of those things coming to pass there in that first period. 2 goals, and, you know, it was not even 4 minutes in, and they just kind of took it from there.
Yeah, and you don't want your first 2 shots going in, right? And very similar in which the way that they did. And you know that they're working this hybrid defensive system. I do think that they are in good positions. Deflections are going to happen. So having a look at the positioning of all of the athletes on the ice right here, you can see Matheson redirects. Now, this is a tough one. Now, all of a sudden, that puck isn't high or low. It's kind of in the middle, and he gets a little bit caught with his feet, turns, and it redirects off him. Look at this. This is good. When the puck's up high, you're man-on-man down low. They're in good position right here, protecting the middle of the ice, knowing where they are. Look at Anderson's going to drop, recognizing that Savard's gone to the corner. But off of the wall a little bit later, it's going to be you have to make sure in that high slot area that you're getting the stick. But look, everyone is in the right spot. So over time, if you're able to pick up those sticks, those are 2 goals that aren't going to happen.
Those 2 goals looking very similar, right? Being scored off deflections. The next 2 goals by Seattle, a different story. And when you look at Arbor Xhekaj, look, he sat out for 2 games not that long ago. Martin St. Louis challenging to be a better player, kind of getting the ups and downs with him here. What did you think of his first period?
Well, you know, I kept saying, hey, he's not using his fists. He's using some mitts out there. And we were talking about it here because he was showing some speed through the neutral ice and finding ways to get into the offensive zone. I liked the way he activated, and he had some rhythm and some pulse to his game. So when you have a giveaway that does cost a goal, you have to find ways to come back from it. I like that his coach came right up to him and listen, this is a misplay, no question about it. He recognized he had 2 on him, and he was just trying to rim the puck to Mailloux. And then I love the timeout. And Frankie made mention of it. And so often as coaches, you know, we hold on to him. You know, you want it in the 3rd period. You want it in the final minutes when your goalie's pulled. And guess what? You may never get there.
Yeah.
So reset the temperature right then and there, and that's exactly what happened.
10 minutes, 33 seconds. Seattle jumping out to that 4-0 lead. Their fastest 4 goals in franchise history. And yes, that timeout coming at the perfect time. They get a couple of power play opportunities. But again, they need a goal. And who do they look for? Cole Caulfield.
And why not, right? And it's all going to come on the entry. You put that puck in deep, you got to go get it. And that's exactly what they do. They find a way to get and retrieve this puck to court. It comes up the wall. You can see Suzuki knows exactly where Caulfield is. It's the pull and shoot. He kicks it out so fast, though, that the puck goes low to high, and he's able to get back available, back door for that rebound, making no mistake on his offside. A little bit of a tap in, but I love the way he popped it out.
Now, temporarily anyway, puts him into a tie for the most goals in the NHL with Nico Hischier. A 3rd straight game now with a goal for Caulfield. He didn't get his 9th goal last season until game 35. That was December the 30th, and now he's got 9 in this, his 10th game, and he may not be done yet today. Meanwhile, as our intermission continues, Oilers Nation held its collective breath yesterday. Have the latest on Connor McDavid next in Insider Trading. Edmonton Oilers yesterday, not only did they see their 2-game winning streak come to an end with a 6-1 loss to Columbus, but their captain, Connor McDavid, was forced to leave the game first period with a lower body injury. The Insiders tackle that and more next here as we turn it over to Gino Reda.
They are the Insiders, Chris Johnston, Pierre LeBrun, and Darren Dreger. Gentlemen, when the best player in the game gets hurt, it immediately becomes the biggest story in the game. Understanding this is a developing story and updates continue to flow in. What's the latest we have on Connor McDavid's status, CJ?
Well, the expectation remains that it won't be until Wednesday that we get a formal update in terms of what Connor McDavid is dealing with, how long he might be out of the Oilers lineup. And the main reason for that is he and the Oilers are still getting to the bottom of just that situation. He flew back on Tuesday from Nashville, where the team was, to Edmonton, gave him a chance to get some imaging done, consult with the team's medical staff, the doctors, and obviously from that point they'll be able to determine exactly what kind of injury he's dealing with and what kind of timeline he'll be out of the Oilers lineup. So in the meantime, I think we can infer that it's not an insignificant injury. The fact he's had to travel back to Edmonton here in the short term, the team's recalled a couple players from the American Hockey League to fill his spot in the lineup, and while we await how long he'll be out from Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, that should be enough to worry about for Oilers brass, but really another concerning game Monday night for the Edmonton Oilers in many different factors. But the fact that they cannot create any offense is right now the biggest concern for this group. Now, management isn't pushing any panic buttons. They believe and remain confident that the offensive leaders will find their way. But if you look at the offensive categories around the National Hockey League, I mean, for the most part, you can appreciate why Stan Moulin and company are confident. Yeah, they rank last in actual goals scored. That's alarming. Number 1 in shot attempts, number 1 in O-zone possession time, top 5 in expected goals and slot shots. So the message internally is just find a way to score to finish the play. And yeah, the temperature is rising, I'm sure, among ownership, but no urgency at this point to seek any outside help.
Turning our attention to the international hockey front, puck drop in the Four Nations face-off is now just about 4 months away. Pierre, we're also a step closer to official Olympic involvement for February 2026.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the NHL, the NHLPA announced that they were going to the Olympics back in February, right, at the NHL All-Star in Toronto. But the fact remained that the league and the PA and the IOC and IIHF have to hammer out an actual Olympic agreement like they always do when the NHL players participate. Well, that has taken a number of months, a number of Zoom calls and in-person meetings. But they are very, very close, is what multiple sources told me on this day. They're basically one meeting away from tying a bow on this lengthy agreement. An agreement, by the way, that while it's only for the Olympics in 26, can be the basis of the 2030 winter agreement as well once they turn their eyes to that.
Canada, the U.S., Finland, and Sweden are getting set to announce their final rosters for the Four Nations in less than 5 weeks' time. And Pierre, the Swedes may be getting some help from a Sens legend.
Yeah, I had a chance to chat with Swedish head coach Sam Hallam on this day, and one of the things that he confirmed was that, yeah, he's picking the brain of Daniel Alfredsson. As he said, why wouldn't he? The guy played in 5 Olympics, so he knows a thing or two about best-on-best hockey. The other thing is that he said that they are in conversations with Alfredsson to see if there's a more formal role that can be agreed to for the Four Nations Cup and beyond. But for now, they're taking advantage of a Hall of Famer who's on an NHL bench for Ottawa every night in the NHL, watching other Swedish players. It's been a real good resource for the Swedish head coach.
When the Leafs announced the Jake McCabe signing on Monday, word got out that part of the deal comes in the form of deferred salary. What are the chances this becomes a pattern, Dregs?
Yeah, I think relatively slim, Gino, because we are, for the most part, looking at very specific players. One agent described hyper-specific. Now, Jake McCabe is approaching the latter stages of his career. The back and forth in terms of the negotiation to extend wasn't moving until he was willing to defer some salary. So that gets his annual average salary up to a point where he can live with. The cap hit works for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But then conversely, you look at, say, Seth Jarvis, a younger player with the Carolina Hurricanes. This one is a bit of a head scratcher for a lot of agents because the big chunk that he deferred to 2032, $15.67 million. So there's some tax benefits with these things, but I don't think it's going to happen often. What I do know, though, is it will be a topic of discussion in the next round of CBA negotiations.
A big announcement from the PWHL. They're expanding. Is this a good sign of interest in the league right now, CJ?
Yeah, they've had a massive amount of informal interest, even though they're just through one season of existence, and now they're going to formalize that process. The league will put out RFPs to have these various cities that have interest, formally say they want to be part of it. They'll look at things like the media size, the population, the facilities, all those things, and make a judgment at some point down the road. But certainly good news for the PWHL. And if you look at places they might work, Quebec City's showing interest. Detroit and Pittsburgh had neutral site games, and there'll be many cities beyond that trying to vie to get a team.
Season 2 of the PWHL will see puck drop on November the 30th. They are the insiders, Chris Johnston, Pierre LeBrun, and Darren Dreger.
And meanwhile, back in Montreal, Cole Caulfield's 9th of the season gave the Habs a little life. See if they can build on that here in the upcoming second period. Last season, the Habs jumped out to a 5-0 lead combined in those two games. Well, this time it was Seattle with the quick start. This is actually the fastest 4 goals of any game this season. Yes, 10 minutes and 33 seconds in, but Cole Caulfield getting Montreal on the board with number 9 on the campaign. It is time for the second period. So without further ado, it's back to Brian and Frank.
Laura, you saw Slafkovsky getting an assist as well in his return as we look at Arber Xhekaj on the bench and a player you're focused on as we begin the second.
It's probably the worst feeling in hockey when you are the direct result of a puck going in the net, especially as a defenseman. It gets magnified. But we saw Stefan Robidas talk to Arber Xhekaj. Arber Xhekaj's game since he sat out the last 2 games that he didn't play, he's looked calm, he's looked poised. He's got to find a way to forget about the mistake and just get back to playing the game he was playing.
Second period underway. There was a second remaining in the penalty. The carry over to Riker Evans. He's back on the ice. 5-on-5. Kirby Dach will throw it in. Racing after it, Newhook. And he thought he beat the foot race to the dot. And apparently he did not.
Okay, so we were here last week against New York. Remember the goal against?
I remember.
Mayu and Struble both going back for the puck. Whistle didn't go. We thought it was icing. We heard it was icing. It ended up getting waved off. That one, Alex Newhook, that's one of those ones you can wave off as well. This is an important start to the period for the Canadians. It cannot be any worse than it was in the first period. But now you have to find a way to start building your game, tilting the ice. You have 40 minutes, and you just don't have much room for error anymore.
McCann out there on the ice right now with Beniers and Eberle. He picked up an assist as well in that first period, so his point streak now at 7 games. 11 points in his last 7 for Jared McCann. Newhook at center. He'll flip up the right side, upended by Larson. Evans back on the puck, chased down by Doc. Beniers trying to clear, he will, up to Eberle. Eberle at center, long shot, missed the mark. McCann jams at it, there's Newhook, plays it to Lane Hudson. Up the right side, Newhook. 15 shots for Montreal in that first period, and just offside. No, it's a penalty, a slashing call.
Yeah, it's going to be Newhook.
And Savard, he's hot right now having a chat with McCann. So Newhook the slash, he goes to the box, and a frustrating start to the period for number 15.
15, minor penalty slashing.
Well, you have to get a kill now in the early goings of the second period. Seattle already on the board with a power play goal. It's Alex Newhook. Just as this puck is filtered into the feet of Matty Beniers, Newhook gets his stick into the midsection of Beniers. That leads to the change of possession for Yoel Armia in Seattle, who's got a power play in the bottom third of the NHL. Already has one on the board tonight. Montreal looking to get back on the right side of the column in the penalty kill.
Stevenson on the draw, can't win it. And then the clearing, look out. That hit the official, and trying to see the number, slow to get up. Referees tonight are Carter Sandlek, Kendrick Nicholson, and running the lines, Derek Nansen and Jonathan Deschamps.
Well, David Savard is lined up so he can go off the glass or right over the pile. And in that situation, he sees that the boards are taken away, so he tries to go over the pile, being a right-handed shot on the right side of the ice, except he hits the linesman. Not a great feeling for Savard or the linesman. Happy to see everyone's okay.
That was Deschamps, so he appears to be fine. And the face-off to the right of Montembeault. Montreal continuing this kill. Minute gone in the second period. Here's Nick Suzuki, short-handed, bouncing puck, trying to get around Schwartz, and Shane Wright got back. Brandon Montour, the Stanley Cup winner with Florida, will drop it back for Stevenson. Bjorkstrand lost it, and Montour is back. Big money he signed, 7 years, $50 million. Had a couple of nice seasons in Florida, and now long-term with the Kraken. Here he is on the puck, Montour, rich shot, score! Another goal from a defenseman, Brandon Montour, power play marker, and it's 5-1 Seattle.
Well, Brandon Montour was a player that the Seattle Kraken really needed. This type of player, a puck mover from the back end, and this is one that just cannot go in on Samuel Montembeault. The Seattle Kraken finally get an entry, and then as Montour moves to the middle of the ice, I don't know if Montembeault thinks that it's going to get tipped in the high slot, but it doesn't. Chandler Stevenson is skating through, and that just goes right past Montembeault, and Caden Primo is now coming into the game. So after a first period where Montembeault gets 2 goals against on tips, 2 goals against on high slot shot chances, that's one that cannot go in, and he's heading down the tunnel. He's frustrated. Primo's in the game, and now the hill gets even steeper for the Canadians.
Montembeault will turn 29 tomorrow, and not the early birthday he was looking for, as he'll get pulled. Primo had the win Sunday night in Philadelphia. Born in Michigan, but obviously Dad Keith a lot of time there. Calls Philly his hometown, so Primo in the net. Montreal down by 4. Here's Mailloux, lost the handle of the puck. Picked up by Gord. Oliver Kapanen battling, Mailloux there as well. Will Borgen around the boards. Pop back to Tanev. He'll drop. Yanni Gord backhand. Primo. I don't know if he saw it, but he stopped it. Good positioning. Made the save. Montour quickly towards the net again. And this time cleared by Montreal. Should be icing. And will be. Face off in front of Primo.
So Brandon Montour was such an important piece for the Seattle Kraken to bring in. They needed that puck-moving ability on the back end. They've also brought in Chandler Stevenson, who helps alleviate some of the pressure down the middle of the ice for guys like Matty Beniers and Shane Wright. Oh yeah, and they're also Stanley Cup champions, something that's very important to the Seattle Kraken team looking to build a culture.
And the new head coach, Dan Bylsma, that cup winner with Pittsburgh, former coach of the year as well. Here's Stevenson behind the net, below the goal line. Stevenson drops, Alexiak. But a good night for the defenders here for Seattle offensively. Side of the net, Stevenson trying to jam it free. And played up to Heineman. Heineman, Dvorak, couldn't advance play, then he's dropped by Alexiak at the line. And they're gonna call it offside, Montreal.
For Seattle, they were in the playoffs 2 seasons ago. Now they're looking to get back there, and they've made some changes to their bench. There's Jessica Campbell, first women assistant coach in the NHL. Dan Bylsma, it was really interesting this morning at Morning Skate. Dan Bylsma was asked about his return to the NHL. Did you ever think you'd get back there after spending 2 seasons in the minors? He spent those 2 seasons with Jessica Campbell. The Coachella Valley Firebirds went to the AHL Finals. They lost 2 years in a row to the Hershey Bears. That is soul-crushing, but they're both in the NHL now.
Suzuki up top, Hudson shot, high off the glass. And Shane Wright talked about it today. How important she was down there and up here, spending the time with the young players, using her skills. Obviously skilled coach, skating coach as well. And earning her opportunity. Slafkovsky, little chip pass in front. And the GM, Ron Francis, was very impressed with her work as well, as she got a lot of admiration from the club. As Caulfield right on, handled by DeCourt. Lane Hudson. Hudson, little lop for Caulfield, down low. Penalty coming up. Primo to the bench quickly. Caulfield, Struble. Extra attacker up for Montreal. Struble will take it back to center. He's got Doc with him.
For Dan Bylsma, won a Stanley Cup, spent a lot of time in the NHL. He was an assistant coach for a bit, and then you find yourself in the AHL. To get back here to this point obviously means a lot to him. He was emotional talking about it this morning.
Tracing Dave Hackstall. Here's Slafkovsky. Up top, Matheson. He'll hand it off. Hudson, Matheson. One-timer, Slafkovsky just missed. Couldn't get good wood on it. And Matheson's got to hustle back as Schwartz is on the move. Matheson shoulder check, sees him coming. Matheson. And finally they say Schwartz gets possession. So Montreal back on the power play, a hooking call. And a 5-1 lead for the Kraken.
Seattle number 7, 2-minute minor penalty.
The captain Eberle to the box for hooking.
Well, here's Montreal with a power play chance. Jordan Eberle, he's going to go to the box, and it comes off of the work Lane Hudson is doing. Eberle just gets his stick into the midsection, and that's the challenge of defending Lane Hudson, because you can't always keep him in front of you. He's so shifty, he's so evasive. If you get your stick involved, there is a good chance you're going to take a penalty, and that time Jordan Eberle does just that.
So you see Marty St. Louis has Gallagher, Kapanen, Newhook, Armia, and Hudson out for this power play. Kapanen using the boards. Newhook up for Hudson. Hudson, Oliver Kapanen. Hudson. Back to Kapanen. In front, wanted. Gallagher gets it back. Kapanen. Feeds Newhook to Kapanen for Hudson. Hudson drifts in front, wide open, Newhook, and he couldn't get the shot away. He'll try again, and that's high and out of play. Again, the vision of Lane Hudson on full display on power play 1.
I'm not sure that Alex Newhook thought this puck was coming to him. That's just how good of a passer Lane Hudson can be at the point as he walks the blue line. He's got everyone thinking he's going to take this shot. Adam Larson doesn't even stop it. There's a little too much on it for Newhook to handle as he's showing his backhand. I think he just got caught in a place of, do I tip it or do I try and receive this puck? I think he tries to receive it. Not able to deaden it on his stick, not able to put it in the back of the net. What a pass by Lane Hudson.
Matheson. Caulfield, and the one-time he was jammed up. Couldn't get the shot he wanted. Alexiak able to flip that and clear. Mike Matheson on the puck for Montreal. Drops it back, Suzuki. Nick Suzuki over the line. He'll stop, poked away, look out. Here comes Jared McCann. In short-handed, McCann clubbed down by Primo. Thought about playing it, and the whistle had gone. And a great short-handed chance in for McCann as he used his feet.
Not the turnover you want to have if you're Nick Suzuki, but for Mike Matheson, this is about as good as you can play this. As Suzuki tries to stop up at the blue line, he gets stripped of the puck, and Matheson he does well to keep everything on one side for McCann. Doesn't allow McCann to cross to the point where Primo doesn't know where the puck is going to go. He tries to chip it back against the grain, but because Primo was able to read it, he snags it. Matheson does a nice job back checking.
Neither team, Montreal or Seattle, with a shorthanded goal so far this season. Nick Suzuki, 45 seconds left in the minor penalty. Caulfield, he'll jam it in. Joey Daccord has a look, he'll play it. And all the way down to Primo. Daccord rewarded a 5-year, $25 million deal. Really had to fight his way. When Grubauer was injured last year, he went on a stretch. 6-1-2, .953 save percentage. And it's tough to get that guy out of the net. And he's playing his 3rd straight start, and he's been sharp.
So I played with Joey Daccord in the minors. When he came up to the AHL, we called him up from the ECHL because we had an injury. We had Marcus Högberg, we had Philip Gustafsson in the net. They couldn't keep Joey Daccord out of the net. He played so well for us. He's such a likable guy, very talkative, really good at playing the puck as a defenseman. I always appreciated when Joey was in the net. He took a crowded crease and he made it his own, and now he's been rewarded in Seattle.
And he's got a 5-1 lead to work with here. Final stages of this power play for Montreal. Hudson fires it in. In comes Gallagher on Alexiak. And a good clear by the big blue liner all the way down to Caden Primo. So remember, for Montreal, their 3rd game in 4 nights. They'll hit the road next. They got Washington Thursday, and then Crosby and the Penguins Saturday as they'll hit the road. Hudson tries to center, 5-on-5, just one shot on that power play chance for the Habs.
Pretty cool night in Pittsburgh tonight for Marc-Andre Fleury, who's returning and playing his last game in Pittsburgh. And wonder how Dan Bylsma would feel about watching his old goaltender in action.
One of the all-time greats. I'm talking hockey and personality and that big smile. Marc-Andre Fleury.
Always pranking his teammates too. Coaches too, apparently.
Well, especially around Halloween, he's had a few good ones over the years. Here's Gallagher on the puck. Gallagher, Jackeye loads up in a bomb, and he missed. Struble couldn't get it in deep, and Schwartz is away. Schwartz still with it. Backhand try, and Primo, a good stop. He's made 2 big ones coming in relief here to keep it 5-1. Another storyline, Struble playing on his offside tonight as he's paired up for this hockey game playing with Mike Matheson.
And that's something we talked to Marty St. Louis about this morning, just asking him, like, why Struble? Why does he get that opportunity? He wants to see what he can do. And going from 3rd pair minutes and responsibilities to 1st pair minutes and responsibilities, very different. You play with a guy like Mike Matheson, who's up and down the ice, maybe not as predictable as some other partners that you've played with, but for Jayden Struble, he's looked calm, he's looked confident on the right side.
Mailloux for Heineman, up top. Matheson shot into the glove. And worth noting, too, that both Barron and Gooley were skating this morning. Good chance we might see them on the upcoming road trip. Remember, Barron took that big hit from Jacob Trouba. As Joey Daccord has done his part, he's been solid as the Habs trying to fight back here on home ice down by 4. Welcome back to the Bell Center, and there is Brandon Tanev on the bench. So they're celebrating in the Bell Center tonight, Frankie, Halloween. Of course, the Habs will be on the road. But over the years, this guy, I mean, he's a fan favorite. Any team he's been at, it's the headshot, the Tanevolution, which is well done by our graphics committee.
So it happened by accident, I believe, one year. And then as a tradition, he just said, well, I have to keep it going now.
That shot, Caulfield had Slafkovsky in front. Suzuki plays it behind the net. There's Caulfield. Hudson thought about the one-timer. Across. Savard back to Caulfield for Hudson. Lane Hudson lost the puck. McCann the other way. McCann takes a look. Feeds across. Everly shot in and out of the glove. And again, Primo. I mean, the saves he's made have been really good chances for Seattle, and he's come through.
There's a good teaching moment for a lot of these young players, and that includes Lane Hudson. Just because the game is a blowout, just because it's 5-1, it doesn't mean you can let bad habits creep into your game. So you can't do the toe drag at the blue line, get it turned over, and start to have those types of things creep into your game. It's frustrating, it's hard playing in a blowout game, but you can't just abandon everything that is process-driven for you in a hockey game.
Burakovsky in the corner. Andre Burakovsky works it up top. Mahura. Stevenson got a tip. Play below the goal line. Tolvanen digs it free for Stevenson. Borgen fires it back in. Matheson lost his stick. He gets it back. Tolvanen hustles into the corner. Checked by Matheson. Matheson will, well, he thought get it to center. He did, and that's Seattle with the offside.
And where the biggest difference lies right now for Montreal is they've made a lot of self-inflicted mistakes. And Seattle's one of those teams that kind of preys on that. They're not an overly explosive offensive team, but given the opportunity, they have some really good shooters. Guys like Bjorkstrand, guys like Jared McCann. And collectively, the Seattle Kraken have to play well as a group in order to win games. There's a lot that goes into that. That means there's a lot of guys that have to play at the upper threshold of their game in order to have success, because they're not such a superstar-driven team. But when you make big mistakes, you allow those guys to get off the hook a little bit more, because you're not forcing them to have to play at the highest level of their game. And that's been, you know, the biggest part of what happened through the first period, Montreal making some mistakes that cost them.
Well, you talked about the emotion that Dan Bylsma speaking earlier today. I mean, his first head coaching gig since he was with Buffalo in 2016-17. And this is a team that would like to get back to the playoffs to try do some damage. Last season missed the playoffs by 17 points. A couple seasons ago, beat the Avs in 7 games and lost to Dallas in 7. That was an incredible run, and that's the plan, to try get Seattle back into that playoff hunt.
And they didn't quite get the Vegas effect. Like, they didn't have a great team right away. They had a good team, a middle-of-the-pack team, but everything went well for them 2 years ago collectively. I think last year, you look back, Jared McCann's their leading scorer. 29 goals, 62 points. Like, that generally, on a playoff team, is a, you know, fourth best scorer.
Alexiak, backdoor feed, shot stop, rebound, score! As it got backhanded in, and Montour's got his second of the game, and another goal from the back end for Seattle. They put up 6.
Well, this is why you sign a guy like Brandon Montour at 7 years, just over $7 million. And here it is right off the faceoff. Kirby Dach is supposed to get over to that side of the ice. He's late getting across. Now, I would like to see the defenseman hand this off, but both defensemen have responsibilities in front of the net. And as Dach is just a split second too late, that's easy for Brandon Montour as he engages in off the blue line, gets his second goal of the game, and it's the defenseman putting on a show tonight for the Seattle Kraken. Plenty of goals from D-men tonight.
4 goals from the back end, 2 now for Montour, and a 6-1 lead. Remember, a couple years ago with Florida, he broke out 16 goals, Frankie, 73 points. He exploded offensively. Big part of that Stanley Cup run as well. He's never had a hat trick in his career. He's got 2 tonight, and everyone's feeling pretty good in Seattle kicking off this 5-game road trip.
It's a big void for the Florida Panthers not having him this year. They've tried to fill that with guys like Adam Boqvist, who's not exactly, doesn't have the same prowess of a guy like Brandon Montour. You can see why Seattle really wanted to bring him in.
Here's Jake Evans below the goal line. Evans tried to center, comes to Schwartz. Josh Anderson there. Evans with Gallagher in front. Try to swing it to him. Evans hit by Will Borgen. Played up for Arbor Jackeye. He'll walk along the line and the backhand in. Gallagher in the corner. Brendan Gallagher tried to shovel it up to Jackeye. Schwartz at his own blue line. Curls back into his own zone, watched by Anderson.
It drives coaches and players nuts when you get scored right off the faceoff because everyone knows what their responsibility is. It's very defined, but when you get beat that clean, no one likes that feeling on the bench or going back to the bench after.
Here's Cole Caulfield. The only goal for Montreal in this game. Dishes, Savard missed on the one-timer. McCann the other way with Eberle. McCann drop pass, but he gave it away to Caulfield. Habs move it up quickly, led by Slafkovsky over the blue line. Juraj Slafkovsky cutting in, one-handed. Good power move by Juraj Slafkovsky, and he couldn't beat Joey Daccord. 6 goals on 16 shots here for Seattle, as they're making life rough for Montreal here at the Bell Center on this Tuesday night. Chandler Stevenson, a big free agent signing for Seattle. He's a 2-time Cup champ. He won with the Capitals beating Vegas, then won another Stanley Cup with the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and this was pretty special. He's a Saskatchewan guy from Saskatoon. He played in the Western League with Regina. He brought the Stanley Cup back to Humboldt, Saskatchewan, and you know how much that meant to the community going through a lot of pain and healing. So good on him to bring the cup to Humboldt. Here's Cole Caulfield. He'll chip that in deep. Joey Daccord there to play it. He'll wrap it along the wall. Suzuki for Savard. Wrist shot tipped, and good vision. Daccord found it, snares it, and he'll hold with 9:34 to go here in this second period.
Joey Daccord making his 3rd consecutive start, and for the first part of the season, Seattle was alternating goalies, and Daccord got back-to-back starts. He's made some big saves. The part of the reason they were alternating is no one really took the net. No one ran with it, but Joey Daccord getting plenty of run support tonight in a 6-1 lead for Seattle.
Kapanen, Dvorak, Heineman out. See Struble and Matheson. Montreal trying to get something going here. Here's Struble off the draw. High wrister. Dvorak hit him. Swung it towards the net. Went behind Daccord. Heineman. Good work to possess the puck. Plays it down low. Dvorak. Comes to Tolvanen. He'll free up Burakovsky. Burakovsky lost it in his skates. Two-time Cup winner as well with the Capitals and Avalanche. Burakovsky. Montour checked by Dvorak. In comes Heineman and Kapanen to help. Burakovsky racing after it. Nice little chip by Matheson, but that was stolen by Burakovsky. And Matheson takes him down. Stevenson sends it across. That shot that hit Dvorak, bouncing off the back boards and cleaned up by Matheson. Oliver Kapanen at center. At the end of a shift, he'll chip it in. And Evans jumps on the ice, and he'll hit Borgen. Logan Mailloux able to work it in deep. The court reaching for it. Evans trying to steal. Evans behind the net. Jake Evans. Gallagher couldn't pull the trigger. Arbor Xhekaj towards the net. He missed high. Evans. Backhand dish held in by Mailloux. Mailloux. Evans. Gallagher spinning. Trying to get that shot off and missed. Play back up top. Arbor Xhekaj. Logan Mailloux towards the net. Big screen in front. Evans. And DeCord fought through it. Made the save.
Amazing what can happen with a good forecheck. I know somewhere in the studio, Cheryl Pounder is smiling seeing that forecheck.
Brandon Gallagher wrist shot to Cord. Saves that. Tanev at his own blue line, hacked at by Evans. He spins and gets it to Mahura. He'll leave. Yanni Gourde in, and Xhekaj got his stick in the way. Ty Karche lost the puck. Seattle's going to start a change. Arbor Xhekaj will work it to Mailloux. Logan Mailloux up the right wing for Newhook with Armia. Bjorkstrand at his own blue line for Schwartz. Schwartz cutting into the corner, plays it up top. Larson jams it in for Shane Wright. Wright got his first National Hockey League goal in Seattle versus Montreal. Bjorkstrand starts the play. Evans shoots. That's off a stick and high and out of play at the Bell Center with 7 minutes remaining.
Well, Brian, you just talked about it. Shane Wright and Juraj Slafkovsky drafted here in Montreal. And for Shane Wright, it's been a turbulent path, if you want to call it that. Like, a guy who gets exceptional status usually doesn't go through as much adversity early in his career as Shane Wright, but here he is now. He had a good season last year, especially in the American Hockey League, 47 points in 59 games, and the key for both these guys, Slafkovsky and Shane Wright, you just got to play. They were kind of in that COVID era where those young players weren't playing as much as they should have, and everyone will get to where they're going at some point.
Here's Cole Caulfield. Nice move, Caulfield. Saucer dish, Savard works it in. Savard across. Lane Hudson towards the net. Backdoor had Suzuki. DeCord played it well. Savard jams it in deep. Suzuki for Slafkovsky. Back for Suzuki in the corner. Savard for Hudson. Lane Hudson, wrister, and Slafkovsky, the big screen in front. Caulfield, good pass. Hudson for Savard. Hill drop. Suzuki jams it in. Bouncing puck in front, and Everly, nice hands to clean that up for Seattle. Picked off though by Suzuki. He delays. Habs onside. The captain brings it in. DeCord. He'll play it into the corner. Puck back in Montreal territory. Struble will start the play to Caulfield. He'll work it in.
And there's a shift with Slafkovsky with the first unit of Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky back together and doing a nice job in the offensive zone. Slafkovsky all over Joey DeCord in front of the net, which is exactly where he should be.
Marty St. Louis talked about it. You know what? That's kind of like a security blanket. You know that line's there, Frankie. You can always go back to it, but just trying to see what he can do and with the personnel he has. And number one, it's great to see Slafkovsky back in the lineup and healthy. Here's Gallagher. Over the line, he'll wait, chip it in. In comes Evans. Anderson into help. Over 5 to go. Second period. Shots 19-16 in favor of Montreal, but that 6th spot looms large here for Seattle on the road. Struble drops. Gallagher. He'll wait with it for Evans. Jake Evans centering feed. Gallagher backhand try. What a glove to Cord. Snagged it. Evans has had enough. This has been brewing for a while. Evans, Borgen, they dropped the gloves, nothing really doing. But Evans was frustrated. They were going at it hard during that shift. Can't really call it fighting, but they're going to go to the box. Offsetting penalties, 5:06 to go here in the second.
Will Borgen and Jake Evans both to the box, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, and you could see this brewing. Both players not willing to back down, and they were going to drop the gloves. It was late in a shift. It's a 6-1 game. You take that all into consideration. No fight, but Jake Evans is in the corner. Will Borgen's a physical player. Regardless of the score, he's going to finish his hit on you. I'm sure Jake Evans is looking at him saying, why are you hitting me so late? And give Evans a lot of credit. He doesn't really back down in any situation. He's willing to drop the gloves. He's willing to go at you and hit you. Both players to the box. We get some 4-on-4 action, and Emil Heineman and Oliver Kapanen starting the 4-on-4 for Montreal.
Riker Evans over to Larson.
It's a nice look by Marty St. Louis to recognize it's a 6-1 game. Get these guys some ice time.
Mailloux, backhand try in the crease. Look at Mailloux in deep, fighting for the puck, and the cord sprawls out, and we get a stoppage as Heineman was there as well, trying to create something here in the late stages of the second.
Well, your coach throws you over the boards because he wants to see something. It's a 6-1 game, so there's a little more ice time up for grabs. Here's Logan Mailloux. He's just going to try and wrap this around, but even if you don't score on the wrapping, you're trying to create some kind of scrum in front, and Joey Daccord gets to it before Heineman can. Heineman tries to sneak between Evans and Tanev. He does, but Daccord gobbles it up.
Mailloux had the 14 goals last year in Laval with the Rocket. Matheson for Mailloux. Mailloux hits Heineman in stride, wrist shot, and he can fire it, but Daccord was ready, and another save.
Even watching Heineman's shot in morning skate, when it hits a goalie's glove or blocker, it sounds heavy. Like it's a heavy shot. It really pops off the stick. And the challenge for him now is not just to have the shot where you're coming in off the wing, but to find quiet areas of the ice in the offensive zone to get more high-quality chances. Not easy to do in the NHL. Part of the transition for a young player.
Matty Beniers, the backhand in. Struble and McCann meet. Good back check there. Struble gave him the Forsberg. Lane Hudson leads all rookies in ice time. He'll dangle in, creating some space. Hudson, checked by Larson. Riker Evans will pick it up. 4 minutes remaining, second period. Evans picked by Hudson, and he lost a hedge, or he would have been gone the other way. Up quickly for Beniers. Beniers checked again by Struble. Struble hit by Larson and Eberle. Right in front of Montembeault. Here's Beniers. For Eberle, Lane Hudson, he'll pick it up. Hudson delays through center for Mailloux. Mailloux lost it, wanted Heineman. Puck still available. Heineman digs it free. Into the corner, Mailloux. They'll protect. Mailloux in front, wanted Kapanen. And a good defensive play, and Seattle's away with it. Stevenson chips it up. Montour never had a hat trick in his career, lost his stick, and quickly it's Matheson. Matheson. Heineman for Kapanen. Evans and Morgan both out, so 5-on-5 hockey. Schwartz. Checked by Mailloux. He falls, and Wright gets taken down. The 251s go down as Heineman slow to get up, appears to be fine. Up quickly, Kapanen, some space. Kapanen cutting in, shoots, glove down to Cord as Kapanen looking for his first in the NHL. Slavkovsky swings it across Suzuki. And he lost it, Montour for Bjorkstrand passing his skates. It's swung across to the right side.
That was a nice job by Kapanen to lean on his check there. That's Alexiak. He's a much bigger player. He's stronger, but Kapanen leaned in on him, and he was able to get that shot off.
Cole Caulfield. They'll chip and chase after it. Into the corner with Mahura. Bjorkstrand collects the puck for Seattle. Through center, he'll chip it in. Jack-Eye. Look out. Right to Tanev. Shoots off the post. Rebound trying. The backhand Tolvanen couldn't cash in. What a chance for Tanev. Trying to put up the 7th goal here for Seattle at the Bell Center. Suzuki. Slavkovsky. Walking in. Weak shot. The Cord got the stick on it. Turnover. Evans. Waiting. Slavkovsky. He's on the puck. Spinning. Finds Matheson. Wrist shot. And that hit Tanev, and that'll be out of play. Minute 27 to go in this second period.
There's a turnover in the defensive zone for the Canadians, and Juraj Slavkovsky, he's playing center right now. He's not a centerman, but he's playing center. He has to be ready for that puck to receive it for Arber Xhekaj. That's his only outlet. So Xhekaj goes to the middle of the ice. Slavkovsky doesn't take it, and then Brandon Tanev walks in with all kinds of space. He ends up hitting the post, but that's one of those ones, even if you're a winger playing center, you have to be ready to get that puck because the defenseman is relying on you to be his outlet.
Brendan Gallagher off the draw, to the point, Mailloux, Matheson, one-timer. That was blocked. Anderson picks it up. Anderson tried to find Evans. Riker Evans. Cartier wanted the pass, knocked away from him by Matheson. Picked up by Yanni Gourde. Gourde. Still with it, protects the puck. Shovels it off. Final minute, Bell Center, second period, 6-1 Seattle. Tanev curls, close to space for Larson. Larson leaves. Cartier for Tanev. As Evans has lost his stick, Yanni Gourde. On the puck for Seattle. Riker Evans, wrister deflected twice, and Primo kicked it aside. Gourde back on it. Good push here by Seattle. Gourde spinning. And Anderson able to chip that to center. Habs will start a change. Evans, though the stick finally gets off. Left down by Primo, and he's going to hold things down with 22.2 to go. Coming up in our intermission, Arpon Basu will stop by with his notebook with our Kenzie Lalonde, and for Martin St. Louis, always talking, always teaching, and this is one they're going to want to put in the rear view pretty quick.
And during the last TV timeout, we both took a look at the bench, and you could see, where's Marty? Well, he's down by the defense talking to Lane Hudson. He's back up by the forwards talking to them. Regardless of the score, he's still communicating with the players. He hasn't shut down that communication. Very important for this young group to hear about it. Positively or negatively, you just need to have the communication.
Tolvanen for Burakovsky. Burakovsky. They'll protect, 10 seconds left. Montour, 2 goals in the game. Works it back in, gets it back. Montour towards the net. That was tipped and missed the mark. 6-1 Seattle through 40 minutes of play.
Not a game that's any fun to play, and if you're a Montreal Canadiens player, you just want this game to be over with, but you can't let bad habits creep into your game. You have another game on Thursday against Washington. You get out of this period, just play 20 minutes of good hockey.
4 goals from the back end. Alexiak, Riker Evans, a pair from Brendan Montour. as the Seattle Kraken. It's a great start to their 5-game road trip. Intermission is coming up next with Laura, Cheryl, Kenzie, and our Fast Who Stops By.
Crave presents the next chapter in the Batman saga, starring Academy Award nominee Colin Farrell. The Penguin, an HBO original limited series, is streaming now only on Crave. Might see a bunch of penguin costumes as Halloween is just around the corner. Cheryl and Laura back here with you in our second intermission. In the first intermission, Cheryl kind of touched on the fact that, yeah, some of these bad habits are starting to resurface here for the Montreal Canadiens, the slow start. And now it's the play of the penalty kill, which was so strong coming into this game, sitting third in the NHL, 90.3% clip. But Seattle has gotten to that group here in this game.
Yeah, 2 power play goals, and you don't like to see it, and that's the spooky. I think that's not until the 31st, though.
That's a trick.
Not a treat. That is for sure. And listen, I understand, how things can go wrong, in particular at the blue line. Look at Josh Anderson. He recognizes Montour's. He's trying to put him offside here, guys, but he's late to the party because it doesn't work, and now all of a sudden that high slot area is open, and Schwartz is able to bury it. You got to find a way to protect the middle of the ice. Again, on this one, the stick steer is coming, but that has got to be stopped. I mean, there's no question about it. Montembeault has to make that save. 5 goals on 10 shots, not going to get cut it, and of course wasn't happy about the pull, but you got to find a way to make those kind of saves.
Second time in his last 3 starts, Montembeault getting the heave-ho, maybe something about Tuesdays because it was against the Rangers that he got an early exit in that game as well. Unfortunately, Montreal fans, we have some more bad habits that we want to discuss here, and it's face-offs and issues winning face-offs. And again, that came back to haunt them there on that 6-1 goal.
Well, one of the biggest things about face-offs is you have to know your responsibilities and communicate them right from it. And when you've got a 50% clip in the dot, you're not necessarily winning the puck clean all the time, and the D is lined up underneath. Now, listen, you know that the D along the boards, Mailloux, has got to get the shooter, but now all of a sudden you can see the cross-up with Dach and Mailloux. How about net front? Because the D was net front, right, or behind the dot, they have to come back to the middle of the ice on the loss. So Armia is late to the party, getting out to the point as well. So now you've got a mass calamity of errors that are happening because guys are running interference, they're not tracking the appropriate player, they have to wait to get out to their point, and because all of that, it just created way too many seams on the ice and the loss of coverage.
Martin St. Louis switching things up a little bit there as we saw Slafkovsky go back to that top line. Really quickly before we go, any adjustments, anything you'd like to see from them in the third period? Don't say 5 goals because we know they want to score 5 goals. 6 goals, I guess, to get the win.
You know, it's interesting, but when you look at someone like Heineman, I'd certainly like to see him elevated a little bit. You know he's got a sniper. You know he's got a quick release shot that can put it in. Well, you're down 6-1. Why not give him a shot? Give him a sniff in the top 6. Put him somewhere and on the power play.
Nothing to lose. All right, winter intermission continues here on Molson Canadiens Hockey on TSN. We've got a brand new installment of Arpin's Notebook where Kenzie and Arpin will talk a little Hudson, talk a little Struble, and talk a little other things as well. Grey Cup playoffs. It is the Eastern semifinal kicking things off this Saturday with the Red Blacks and the Argos. 2 p.m. Eastern time is when we're on the air, and then the Western semifinal, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, will feature the Lions and the Riders. Things are getting interesting in the CFL. All right, well, as for the Montreal Canadiens, we know this penalty kill has been a major strength in the early goings of the season. Bit of a hiccup here tonight, though, as for the first time this season, they've allowed multiple power play goals in a single game. In Arpin's Notebook, Arpin and Kenzie will be talking about that, as well as a couple members of that blue line. It's off to Montreal.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, that was not a 40 minutes the Montreal Canadiens want to put in their notebooks here. A lot of lessons to be learned. Arpon, just what are your opening thoughts here?
Well, I think it's time to legitimately be concerned about Sam Montembeault at this point. I mean, honestly, I believe he's rocking his save percentage since his first 2 starts, when he gave up 1 goal in 2 starts, is roughly around .829 right now since then. It's been multiple poor starts. He's been pulled twice. Not good. You got to wonder if all the Team Canada stuff started getting to his head, but allowing 3 goals from the blue line tonight really put this team on its heels. And, you know, there's a lot of other things you can look at in terms of what went wrong, but I think it starts in net. Unfortunately for Montembeault, has not gotten off to a good start, and this team really can't afford to have that. So they're really going to need to get that settled pretty quick. But for the rest of it, this is what the expression "it is what it is" was kind of invented for.
Yeah, and you think, too, the importance of special teams and the penalty kill coming in so strong, 3rd in the league, having not allowed a power play goal in their last 2 games. Different story here tonight. 2 goals for the Kraken on those 2 power play chances. As we look at some of the key pieces to the Canadiens' penalty kill, Lane Hutson getting some reps there.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. You know, Lane Hutson, obviously, no one could have imagined a month ago that he'd be on the penalty kill now. He himself could not have imagined it. At Boston University, he said he would need 2 defensemen to be in the box for him to go on the penalty kill. He did, in fact, play on the penalty kill at the World Junior Championships last year for Team USA, but even there, in the camp preparing for the tournament, he was not on the penalty kill. Then game 1 shows up and boom, go on the penalty kill. So this is a work in progress. He's been actually pretty good, you know, tonight, notwithstanding. I don't think he's been particularly bad. But, you know, Martin St. Louis said something interesting Saturday night, how he thinks that Lane Hutson is so smart, he could use his knowledge of how to play on the power play and reverse engineer it to become a smart penalty killer. And so I asked Lane about that this morning, and he actually didn't disagree. And he said the opposite is also true, that playing on the penalty kill is going to make me a better power play player because I'm going to understand what penalty killers are thinking more. So this is the level of respect that Martin St. Louis has for this kid's hockey brain. And it's really quite remarkable, you know, a month into his career, that his coach is relying on a rookie's hockey sense to that extent to be like, you know what you can do on a power play, so you should use that on the penalty kill. Just a little side note on Lane Hutson quickly. I don't know. I've been thinking throughout the season that he's using like an extra long stick. So I asked him this morning, and he's like, no, not really. He said it comes up to about mid-nose, which is like slightly long, but pretty standard. And then he stood up, and he's like, maybe it's my arms. The kid's arms, when he stands up, goes down to his knees. Like, he's got a wingspan of someone that's much taller than 5'9". So that's, if you had that same impression that he's using a really long stick, it's not his stick, it's his arms. And they actually do add a lot of length to his game and allows him to have a really active stick, which is another aspect of his game that Marty really likes on the penalty kill.
Long arms on Lane Hutson. Some new information here. Can you talk about that? Also, Josh Anderson as well, who's getting some penalty kill time. Someone who has more experience on the power play as well. So some guys thrown into the fire, if you will, with the new role and new opportunities. But a chance for them.
He used to do that in Columbus.
Yeah.
He did in Columbus, but it's in a while, and he's been pretty good. Again, tonight notwithstanding. But
yeah. But as we look at another player who's experiencing new opportunities and a new role, Jayden Struble on the right side. I mean, outside of, you got Barron, Savard, Mayu as well, Gouli playing the right side, but those other 3 really are the right shot defenders. So you look at someone like Jayden Struble, who I'm sure is just excited for minutes and to see if he can do it.
Yeah, another guy who never did this in college. And so he's suddenly, you know, with the loss of Gouli, the loss of Barron, there's a need there. And Mayu being what he is right now, a guy trying to get his feet wet in the NHL, not the most reliable player at the moment. Jayden Struble filling in on that right side next to Mike Matheson. Great opportunity for him. He's super excited about it. And I talked to him this morning about sort of getting some more jam into his game, a little bit of nastiness. And it's something he's really looking to do. We haven't seen it much tonight, and obviously the game's out of hand. It probably wouldn't be appropriate. But this opportunity is something that he's really appreciating. And after 2 tough games coming off an injury, he's really self-adjusted and shown an ability to self-correct really well.
Important, too, for the Canadiens as well, with hopefully Justin Barron and Kaiden Guhle getting back to the lineup here as they do head on the road. Laura, we'll send it back to you. As you have mentioned, this is the last home game here for the Canadiens for quite some time, as they'll be on the road for 6 of their next 7 games as we head it back to you in studio.
All right, yes, and the Canadiens, Kenzie and Arpon, facing an uphill climb, trailing 6-1 to the Kraken with 1 more period to go in Montreal. on right now, including the Rangers and the Capitals. And what a night it's been for Alex Ovechkin, scoring not once, but twice in this one. Number 856, 857 of his career, as he is inching closer and closer to Wayne Gretzky's all-time record. Washington with the 4-3 lead right now in the second period. And the Caps happen to be Montreal's next opponent, that being on Halloween night. So here's a look at what else is going on in the NHL. Look at the Senators, a 6-0 lead over the Blues. And then there's the former Pen, Marc-Andre Fleury, potentially playing his last time in Pittsburgh, won 3 cups with them. The Wild with the 4-2 lead. And with now their thoughts on the opening 2 periods of this one, back to the booth and Brian and Frankie.
Laura, we knew Seattle coming in winless in their last 3. They were going to push hard at the Bell Center. And Marty St. Louis always has quotes, and he says, we don't want our lows to be too low, but unfortunately that's the case tonight.
And teams that are good teams in the league that are in the mix when it comes to playoff spots, their bad is not that bad. They actually find ways to scratch and claw for points when their game is not there. And for Montreal tonight, you know, they give up 2 goals on tips. They give up 2 goals on high quality chances where no one's detecting the front of the net. Like, you can't have those big errors, because that leads to being behind the 8 ball in games like this. So it's all about the variance. The good teams, their variance is not as drastic. Right now for the Montreal Canadiens, they can put together 2 games on the weekend where it looks like they're really starting to find it, and then come back with a game like this that looks a lot like last Tuesday against the New York Rangers. There's a lot of peaks and valleys right now for the Canadiens.
First of 2 meetings between Montreal and Seattle. They'll do it again in Seattle in March. Laura.
The second period, the Brandon Montour period, as he scored both of the Seattle goals. 4 of the Kraken's goals have come by Blue Liners, as yes, that all adds up to a 6-1 game. Back to Brian and Frank.
Laura, nice game for Chandler Stevenson. He's got 3 points. You mentioned Montour. He's got 2 and 1 for 3 points as well, trying to chase down his first career hat trick. Underway in the third period, as Montreal down by 5. Scramble at center. It comes back to Lane Hudson. He'll play it for Savard. That's off Alexiak and all the way down to Joey Daccord. Eberle. Little touch pass. Matty Beniers pace up the right side for Seattle. He'll lead. Eberle fires, and that's deflecting off the body. And out of play, 20 seconds into this third.
It sounds weird to say because the Canadiens are down 6-1, but there have been moments in this game where you see, okay, they're coming along. They're applying some pressure. It looks more like the Canadiens game when they're playing well. Just anything that could have gone in the first period went in. And then your game changes. You start pushing, you start making more mistakes, and that's where you are now, down 6-1. You know, Brandon Montour, he's got 2 goals in this game. He's got an assist. You can see exactly why the Seattle Kraken wanted a player like that. They have a good D-core. He's a difference maker on their D-core. He has an element of skating and puck moving that they don't exactly have. There's a real sense of calm when he has the puck carrying it up the ice.
And Cup experience, championship pedigree, which all teams crave and need, and something a lot of GMs will look to add to their respective teams to get, as we talked about Seattle back into the postseason.
That's a very real thing. If you get labeled as a winner at some point in your career, you would be shocked at how far you can carry that through.
Lane Hudson at center. They'll flip it in. Chasing after it, Evans. Alexiak there first. Gallagher helping with the forecheck. Jordan Eberle has the puck. Fans on the pass, gets it back. He'll chip it up that right wing. Beniers collides with Hudson. There's Savard for Lane Hudson. Up the center, looking for Anderson. Suzuki takes the hit from Larson, but gets it into Joey Daccord. Turnover at the line. Burakovsky, though, able to get around Mayu, and Suzuki's back. Watched by Tolvanen. Chandler Stevenson will play it back. Evans up the left side. No ice. Primo will play it.
Interesting that Marty St. Louis has kept Slavkovsky up with the first line to start the third period, so not going back to the second line for Slavkovsky.
Evans round the boards. Chopped out by Tolvanen down the ice. And that one will be icing as Arbor Jacki will touch up.
This almost feels like it becomes a controlled scrimmage at practice where everyone almost goes through the motions and goes to the spots they're supposed to go to, and you kill the clock. You know, if you're someone that is going to benefit from maybe a little more ice time, like Emil Heineman, like Oliver Kapanen, look at that. Now you're playing with Kirby Dach, and Kirby Dach's down the middle of the ice. You can try and take advantage of that.
Matheson, wrist shot, never got through. Good block by Tolvanen. He'll lift to center. Struble for Heineman. He'll ram it in. Larson, checked by Heineman. Kirby Dach trying to free the puck. Burakovsky there. And Frank, you talk about things to play for. Keep in mind, you know, Justin Barron hopefully is healthy soon. Same with Caden Gooley. You look at this blue line, there are definitely opportunities to prove yourself to Martin St. Louis to try stay in this NHL roster.
That's the thing. Someone's got to come out. Gooley's going in no matter what as soon as he's ready. And he's going to be playing, you know, top pair or top four, whatever you want to call it. But someone's got to come out, and you need to make that as difficult a decision as possible for Marty St. Louis.
Struble on the puck. He'll play it back to Yoel Armia.
And you know what? That's sometimes, some guys see that when a player's coming back from injury. You see the guys practicing. You see a guy like Gooley practicing, and you're like, okay, he's coming back. Like, am I the guy on the hot seat? Like, it's natural for that to creep into the back of your mind. It happens. But the Montreal Canadiens will be a better team for it when Gooley does come back and he's in the lineup. And you just miss the ability that he has to munch minutes.
You saw the captain on the bench. 7-game point streak in jeopardy. Nothing yet offensively on the board tonight. Cole Caulfield, the lone goal for Montreal. Look out, Arbor Xhekaj in some duress as Kartye trying to get around him. Good recovery from Arbor Xhekaj up to Alex Newhook. Trying to feed it towards the net as that hit Borgen. Will Borgen to center. Mahura into the corner. He'll play it along the wall. Kartye there. Arbor Xhekaj trying to free it. Comes back in the corner. There's Dvorak. Arbor Xhekaj will pick it up. Newhook. Back to Xhekaj. Seattle changing.
Remember, there was a time I was playing in Vancouver, and Alex Edler was coming back from injury, and I was the call-up player, and he had a great practice. Mike Sullivan, the assistant coach, goes, that guy looks like $1 million. I go, Sully, he looks like $4.5 million. I think he's ready to go. They sent me down on the plane on the way to Los Angeles.
There's Matty Beniers, the steal. Beniers will drop it off. McCann. Pass was behind Eberle. Gallagher tripped up McCann. Hudson there as well. Lane Hudson bouncing puck. He'll settle it down and play it up for Gallagher. Gallagher to Evans with a stride, wrist shot, and that one's done. Hit Montour, and then the follow-up from the corner. Another drive. That was Hudson right on to Cord. Will settle it down for Seattle. As Montreal now up to 23 shots in the game.
Jake Evans continues to do what he does. Forechecks, gets his feet moving, tries to direct things to the front of the net. One of the reasons why this third line has had a lot of success, and Cheryl's talked about it, their ability to forecheck, but everything seems to get to the net relatively quickly. It's not a lot on the fringes or on the perimeter. It's one or two puck touches, and then it's bang to the front of the net. It's a very direct game that the third line is playing, and the reason why Marty St. Louis would want to keep that line together. They've been very reliable this year.
Bouncing puck back for Lane Hudson up to center. Montreal 31st in shots per game in the NHL. Brought in offside by Chandler Stevenson.
Now this is exactly what you're looking for if you're Seattle as well. You just had a 5-game homestand. They only got 5 points. They're playing 500 hockey, and in the Pacific Division, 500 hockey is not going to cut it. Vancouver's coming on. Edmonton at some point is going to find a way to get more points, even with McDavid out of the lineup. Vegas looks really good. LA's not going anywhere. There's a crowded Pacific Division, and you start a 5-game road trip off with a nice, easy one where you can spread around the ice time. No one gets overexerted. That's neat and tidy work for Seattle.
Montreal 5-8-3 last season versus the Pacific. Struble, back for Matheson. Matheson swings to the right side. Slafkovsky back to Matheson. Here's Struble. Bill Dish, Suzuki. Jaden Struble across. One-time try. Matheson, that was a rocket, but missed up high. Cole Caulfield in shooting. He was looking short side, top corner, and that grazes the netting. Out of play. Well, we talked about things to play for. Obviously, you want to play hard for the Montreal Canadiens, but you know, the Four Nations Cup is coming up, the Olympics on the horizon. So Craig Button, Mike Johnson, their consensus forwards, and look at the guy at center there.
I like it. It's a no-brainer that Nick Suzuki would be on this team. He's a swing player if he's on that team. He's a guy that can be defensively responsible, lower in the lineup. He's going to get you some offensive production. And most importantly, you can trust him playing against very good players, and that's all that's going to be in that tournament is very good players, the best of the best. Nick Suzuki can handle it.
Shane Wright, some pace driving in, trying to tuck it home. Cleaned up though. Primo the stop, and then Mailloux able to work into the far boards. That drive never made its way through, and maybe a 2-on-1. Kapanen, Mailloux, shot stopped Daccord. Joey Daccord has not been that busy, but he's made some nice saves, 2 breakaways, and that was a great chance in tight.
Tough to stay alert when you're not busy in the game, especially when it's a sleepy 6-1 game, but Joey Daccord makes a nice save here, and it's going to be Oliver Kapanen. Really nice just floating that into space for Logan Mailloux, who gets on his horse to try and convert that one. And Shane Wright just tries to put it under the triangle of Arbor Xhekaj. Tough to defend that when a player has some speed. You almost can't see it coming, but Cayden Primeau's done well so far in this game since being sprung into action. Keeps that out.
Puck at center for Seattle. Chipped in there by Ty Kartye. 11 goals, 20 points in his rookie season last year with Seattle.
He's got a good shot. There's a few guys on Seattle that are good shooters. Bjorkstrand, McCann, Ty Kartye, who's a big scorer in the OHL with Sault Ste. Marie.
Tolvanen can really rip it.
Yeah.
Johnny Gord. Kartye in shot off a stick and wide. Montour towards the net, tipped, and that didn't miss by much. Kartye, the nice hands, and it just went wide far side. There's Newhook again, trying to break in, but Alexiak recovered nicely. Armia. Here's Struble. When you talk about that Four Nations Cup team as well, Marty Biron has talked about it, and Carlo Koliakovo. Montembeault in the mix for that as well, as that drive stopped. Not the night he wanted, but Montembeault has a chance to really do something special this year, gain some confidence. I mean, the first 2, Frankie, tonight you talked about it, tough deflections.
Both changed direction in front of him. Then 2 that are just point blank. It's very difficult to make those saves, especially after you've just given up 2 on your first 2 shots. They didn't get eased into the game.
Here's Montour. Works it down low. Beniers. Oh, up top, and he had McCann cutting in, taken down. That's a penalty coming up. Beniers waits again. That rocket wrister missed. So delayed penalty. As you see, Daccord to the bench. Extra attacker out. Jaden Schwartz through center. Everly drops Montour. Alexiak, Beniers, high slot, and finally touched up. You know, the Montembeault that you saw against the Leafs in the season opener, that beautiful performance getting the shutout, is obviously what he's capable of. Beautiful night in Montreal, but not so much in the Bell Center if you're a Habs fan. Power play coming up to Seattle.
on the power play so far in this game, and they're going to get another chance as Josh Anderson goes to the box for a hooking. As watches Jared McCann skates downhill into the slot area. Gallagher and Anderson both got a stick into him. This was earlier. Logan Mailloux, good speed up ice, and it's a nice touch on the puck by Oliver Kapanen just to lay it into space for Mailloux to skate into it. Joey Daccord keeps it out, but in a 6-1 game, you want to see players still engaged, still involved. That time, 2 young players, Oliver Kapanen and Logan Mailloux, trying to get on the board for a second Montreal goal.
See Shane Wright out on the #1 unit right now. Getting some looks from Dan Bilesma, putting him in there. There's Armia. Gave it away though, right to Chandler Stevenson. Bjorkstrand. Right set up in front. Stevenson. Bjorkstrand. Hill maneuver. Far circle. Bjorkstrand. Up for Montour. Bjorkstrand. Pass behind Montour, put him in a tough spot. He'll backhand it in. Right through him. Up top, drive, stop, rebound, right, just wide. Shane Wright just missed the open gauge. Montour. Bjorkstrand. We'll pop it down low. Schwartz. Stevenson. Chandler Stevenson. Schwartz delays. Stevenson. Works it across. Montour thought about the shot. Still with the puck. Checked by Savard now. He hits him. Right stick broke, so he's got to get a new one and does.
4-on-4, put some pressure on.
Armia frees it for Matheson. Nice little subtle move in his zone. And 50 seconds left in the minor penalty. Good. Cleared by Montreal. And yep, the Bell Center a near gift, but nobody home except for Riker Evans.
When someone's stick breaks like that, everyone has to have quick recognition that it's a 4-on-4 situation. Just apply as much pressure as possible, see if you can disrupt it. That's exactly what Montreal does.
Matty Beniers spun around, bouncing puck. Eberle there. Jackeye finds it, drives to clear. And Jackeye swing and a miss on that. Clearing gets him, so Beniers up for Tolvanen. Beniers. Riker Evans. He'll hand it off. McCann. He'll go down low to Eberle. Checked by Mailloux. Just a few seconds remaining in the minor penalty to Josh Anderson. And a good clear. Oliver Kapanen down to the court. He's going to play quickly up for Beniers. Anderson's out. Beniers on the move. Back to 5-on-5. So Montreal kills that one off. 10 minutes remaining and 1 shot on that man advantage for Seattle. Josh Anderson up the right wing. Moving in with Suzuki. Anderson to the backhand, lost it. Suzuki in front of Slafkovsky. Couldn't pull the trigger, and a penalty coming up. Anderson, big bomb missed. Suzuki round the boards. Extra attacker out. As Primo on the bench. Hudson, nice little dangle. Feeds it across over the stick of Caulfield. He'll play to Struble. And Struble has to reset at center. Lane Hudson. Slafkovsky. Little chip up ahead and finally touched up. So Montreal gets a power play opportunity with 9:22 to go in the game. They're 0 for 3 with 8 shots here on a Tuesday night.
minor penalty to Josh Anderson, and as he gets out of the box, he creates a rush chance for himself. He does a nice job, and Josh Mahura is forced to take a slashing penalty as Anderson tries to cut this across the crease. He gets slashed, and then Juraj Slavkovsky just not able to connect on the one-timer. Shane Wright had a chance on the Seattle Kraken power play. He sends that one just wide as he's undetected in front of the net, and Montreal goes back to the power play. They're 0 for 3 tonight, looking to find one in the third period.
Seattle goes to Toronto Thursday. Montreal off to Washington, D.C. on Thursday. Take on Ovechkin and the Capitals as Ovi continues to chase down Gretzky. Tanev on the puck, kills off some more time and sends it to Montreal's blue line. There's Matheson. Mike Matheson takes a look, he'll drive it in, then stop. Matheson out of the reach of Suzuki, and Nick Suzuki will pick it up at his own blue line. Matheson, look out, upended by Tanev. A good job on the penalty kill by number 13.
That's Tanev's game in a nutshell. Fast, deceptive, hard to play against, really relishes this type of role. Penalty killing, forechecking, just being a pain.
Had a torn ACL a few seasons back. Good to see him back healthy again. Takes time with those injuries. Kirby Dach, speaking of knee injuries, another guy that's still finding his game. Dach a goal, 5 points on the season. And the crowd buzzing for Lane Hudson as he'll drop it back. Oliver Kapanen over the blue line. Kapanen still with it, in, round the net. Kapanen wrap try, couldn't get it through. Armia steals. Armia behind the net, centers Kapanen, and he couldn't bang it home. Tied up just enough, and it's a possible 2-on-1 the other way. McCann slides it through, but Armia got back. Took it away from Yanni Gourde.
And Marty St. Louis talked this morning about Oliver Kapanen. So he just needs confidence with his puck touches. We're getting him more ice time should get him some more confidence.
Called him a very intelligent player. Just, yes, finding that confidence is key. Here's Hudson. Maneuvering. Lane Hudson drops it off. Gets it back from Newhook. Just keeps it onside. Newhook works it down low. Newhook from Kapanen. Newhook takes a look. 5-on-5 hockey, and no shots on the power play. Hudson just keeps it onside. He'll flip it across. Newhook, wrister, and into the glove of Decord. So the Habs 0 for 4 on the power play tonight. Time now for the electrifying Save of the Game, brought to you by the Polestar 2. Experience pure electric performance for yourself.
Well, it was 3-0 at this point in the game, and Joey Decord makes a big save on Alex Newhook on a breakaway opportunity, and that's Burakovsky chasing down Newhook. Newhook creates a little separation. Burakovsky's a really fast player. Decord keeps it out, and the rest is history. It's 6-1 Kraken with 7:11 to go in the third period.
Your Polestar electrifying Save of the Game, as Joey Decord, career numbers last year, he was 19, 18, and 11, a .916 save percentage for the Kraken. Earned that contract that we talked about as him and Philip Grubauer battle for the net this year. Here's Heineman, and just offside was Montreal.
And part of the challenge for, you know, a goaltender for Seattle, if you want to call it, whether it's Grubauer or Decord, is this team is transitioning from trying to play a stingy defensive style of game to a very transition-oriented, giddy-up-and-go style. And with that comes some mistakes, comes some odd-man rushes, and a little more action in front of you. Now, the Habs haven't been able to capitalize on that tonight. It's been a pretty clean, efficient game for Seattle, but that's something that goalies have to deal with when a team tries to transition their style of play.
Well, they drafted Berkeley Catton in the first round in Seattle, plays for Spokane, and he is a dynamic offensive player that they'll look forward to down the line. Beniers got tripped up at the blue line. Montour cutting in on the puck. And behind the play, Arbor Xhekaj is in the middle of it as Xhekaj is surrounded by a couple of Kraken players, including Eberle. Montour is getting a face wash.
Now, that is a mismatch if I've ever seen one. Arber Xhekaj is one of the toughest players in the league, one of the best fighters in the league. Jordan Eberle not exactly in his weight class.
You know, the one thing we talked with Marty St. Louis about that altercation in Philadelphia where he got a penalty that Arber maybe didn't deserve. But what Marty did say, he's been impressed as we look. Xhekaj just stood up in ears.
Nice clean hit.
Yeah.
You know, give it Jordan Eberle credit. He goes over to Xhekaj. He's not exactly looking to fight Jordan Eberle. I think he just wants to stand up for his young player in Beniers, and he's the captain of the team. So setting the tone kind of begins and ends with him. Well, that's a clean hit by Xhekaj. You know, you were talking about, we talked to Marty this morning about Xhekaj and even the incident in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Just Xhekaj has handled a lot of those situations much better recently. Like, he's not going into a pile, shedding his gloves, starting to throw punches. There's a little more patience involved with how he's handling things like that, and that's part of the maturation process for him.
Well, in the Philly game, right, Doc got clipped a little bit there. Xhekaj went over, had a conversation. Couturier dropped his gloves first. You know, and Marty just talked about that whole sequence and how that's part of growing. What you mentioned, Frankie, handling situations like that on the ice, knowing when to go, knowing when to not put your team in a tough spot. And Arber's done a better job at handling those situations, now, according to his head coach.
In this situation, though, Jordan Eberle comes over to Xhekaj. So you're poking the bear. So, like, if he drops his gloves and starts punching you, like, you went after it. But cooler heads prevail, and we got 4-on-4 hockey.
Here's Schwartz in his own zone, back for Larson. And if you're Seattle, you just want to change up, rinse, repeat, make good plays, and get out of here and get to Toronto. Good start to their 5-game road trip. And Mailloux pleads his case, but you saw the takedown right there. Penalty coming up. Larson trying to move around Suzuki. So Logan Mailloux, you saw him, the takedown there on Riker Evans. So Mailloux will go to the box.
It's accidental, but it's a penalty. Mailloux's just trying to sweep at the puck, go stick on puck, and as he misses it, he gets Riker Evans' feet.
Montreal, number 24, 2-minute minor penalty, tripping.
So regardless of the intent, Logan Mailloux to the box, and Riker Evans is one of those players that really benefited with Coachella Valley going deep into the playoffs, and you can see Mailloux just try and swing at it. Evans steps right into the middle of it, a little bit of a can opener. So a 4-on-3 power play for the next minute and 30 seconds for Seattle.
Riker Evans had a 61-point season in Regina in the Western League as a defenseman in his best year, but he was riding shotgun with that Connor Bedard guy, which always
Pretty
helps.
Good. He's also benefiting right now from Vince Dunn not being in the lineup for Seattle. He's on LTIR, and Riker Evans is eating up some of that secondary power play time.
They called up Cale Fleury and John Hayden. As a result of that, they had the cap room to do so. Nice to have some extra bodies on a long road trip as Montour has the puck. He's got 2 goals in the game. He'll hand it off. Montour to McCann. Down low, Stevenson. McCann. Tanner Stevenson. He'll delay. Schwartz is in front. McCann across. Montour drives, score! Hat-trick goal. Brandon Montour, the first of his career. Power play marker, and it's 7-1 Seattle.
88.9 mile per hour one-timer for Brandon Montour, and there's a few hats floating onto the ice. Listen, a 4-on-3 power play, it turns into a shooting gallery pretty quickly. You have a little more time and space. The Canadians aren't able to apply some pressure. Strubal's got to tend to Schwartz in front of the net, so he's not able to go out and challenge that one-timer. Brandon Montour's eyes light up. He steps right into that one-timer, gets past Caden Primo, and 7-1 lead for the Seattle Kraken. 3 goals for Brandon Montour, and it's point night for the Kraken.
Winless in 3 games coming in, and a big smile for Montour, his first career hat trick, and another goal from a blue liner in this game. 7-1 the score. And you heard the frustration after that loss to the Rangers from the captain, Nick Suzuki, and there will be another one of those tonight. As that's brought in offside. 5:36 to go. Seattle's got 7 in Montreal.
Canadians hockey on TSN is brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
Big-time player, Stanley Cup champion, 3 goals tonight, and 3 goals in a row as well, Frankie. The natural hat trick for Brandon Montour.
Don't see that often from a defenseman, but it's been a nice offensive night for a nice offensive defenseman. Off-season acquisition for the Seattle Kraken.
Had 3 assists, 11 points in 24 games in that cup run for Florida. Mahura leads the rush, try to drop it back, hit a skate, and the other way it's Kirby Dach. 4-on-4 hockey, Dach cutting in, backhand try, and that right pad of the court kicked out. Jack-Eye Eberle still in the box for their respective teams. Slafkovsky chips it free. Mailloux for Hudson. Lane Hudson, little head fake on Beniers.
The fans here are so great. They just want to cheer. So every time Lane Hudson touches the puck, they just cheer.
Beniers drops it off. Mahura, oh, what a pass. Tap job for Tolvanen, and it's getting a bit heated here. That's 8 on the board. Tolvanen gets in on the fun, his 3rd of the season. That was a lovely setup by Seattle off the rush again. And Frankie, you talked about it. This is a team, I mean, I know it's out of hand, but they have speed. They turn it on and they finish.
They're really good on the rush, and it doesn't help that, you know, because it's 4-on-4, Slafkovsky's forced to play defense, not a position he's overly familiar with. So as the pass goes across the ice, it just gets seen to Tolvanen on the back door. And Slafkovsky credit, he's trying. He's not a defenseman. It's 4-on-4. It's a 7-1 game. That's an easy tap in for Tolvanen, and 8-1 lead for Seattle. The game got out of hand a little while back, and this is one that everyone in Montreal would like to. Now, I don't think this is one you burn the tape. There's some things you can learn with this kind of game, but short memory as they play Thursday in Washington.
Matheson, little dish. Josh Anderson bouncing puck, score. Anderson tucks it up top, and it's 8-2. Second of the season for Josh Anderson, and maybe something he can build on. for next game at Washington.
You'll take the goal when you get it. Starts with a nice setup by Matheson. That's a nice saucer pass right to Anderson. It almost looks like Joey Daccord quit on this play. Watch as Anderson brings this across. It kind of bumbles. I'm not sure if Daccord doesn't know where it is, if he thinks he has it, but he doesn't stay with the play the entire time. Anderson picks it on the forehand, and he's got his second goal of the year. Struble.
Looks like a penalty.
It was right off the face-off. Struble, I believe it was Ty Cartier.
Struble, they're opening. Struble's going right down the tunnel here, Frankie.
He hit someone right.
47, 2 minutes, cross-checking. Was a 10-minute misconduct.
So I believe he hit Cartier right by the bench. And then I'm sure the Kraken bench had something to say because it was right there. He jawed back at them. And in an 8-2 game, if you're going to have that, you can send some players home early. And Mark Denis would have had a great view of it, our colleague at RDS. And for Jayden Struble, you know, you get promoted to the top pair. There's a lot of excitement with that. You're playing with Matheson, you're going to play some bigger minutes, you're going to eat some responsibilities. You don't even get a chance to see what that's like because of how behind the 8 ball this team was in the early goings of the game. It's not a proper audition playing on the top pair.
So some different suspects out on the power play with the game out of reach 8-2. Mahura wrist shot right on, knocked down by Matheson, and he'll clear it down the ice. Daccord well out to settle it down in the corner. Borgen able to spin away. Will Borgen. Under 4 to go, third period. Fired in, there's Armia. Borgen across. Mahura for Borgen. His wrister, and through traffic, Primo will stop that. Frankie, I know you've been a part of games like this. As first we'll do the Molson big moment.
Well, it has to be Brandon Montour. 3 goals for the offseason acquisition for the Seattle Kraken. A natural hat trick. 2 goals in the second period, 1 in the third period. A couple power play goals. A nice night for Brandon Montour. A big reason why the Seattle Kraken are up 8-2.
The Molson big moment of the game. Brandon Montour, a big game for him with a hat trick. 3 goals in a row, by the way. That was the natural. There's Alexiak for Yanni Gourde. Yanni Gourde, Alexiak. Back for Gourde. Alexiak. Delays at the line, he'll throw it to space. Yanni Gourde. Bjorkstrand drops it. Xhekaj. Little check there on Cartier. And Montreal able to clear to center. How do you respond to games like this, Frankie?
It's going to be very quiet in the dressing room after this game, and that's to be expected. It's almost eerie, like you could hear a pin drop, but you know that you have the recipe because you just did it on the weekend, 2 games in a row in a back-to-back.
Look out, Gourde, space, into the forehand. Good stop, Primo.
So you lean on that. And giving up a breakaway like that, that's not part of the recipe.
Burakovsky. 10 seconds left. Gallagher serving the 2 minutes for Struble. Burakovsky. And a good seam pass, Cartier. He wanted Gourde, just missed connecting there. Burakovsky. For Larson. Gallagher's out of the box. 2 shots in the power play chance there for Seattle. As Xhekaj gives Larson the cross check and then a little slash. Gallagher going at Alexiak, trying to get to the puck.
The thing about bouncing back from something like this, you've done it. You did it after the Rangers game, which wasn't great. But it's not physical, it's mental. These are just mental things that, you know, when you get fatigued and you play 3 and 4 and there's some travel involved, that's when that starts to creep into your game.
Burakovsky. Lost an edge, there's Hudson. And the fans still in the building, still cheering for number 48, Lane Hudson. And Decord's going to cover that with Heineman in the vicinity. 1:36 to go.
The thing about the mental fatigue or the mental mistakes, at the end of the day, they do just become crutches or excuses. And if you want to build a winning team, you can't have excuses. Caden Primo makes a nice save on Yanni Gourde in the late goings of this game. Canadians give up another breakaway. Caden Primo's been good since he's been thrust into this game, and like everyone, I'm sure he just wants to get out of here.
You put Montembeault right back in on Thursday, Frankie?
I think I would. I'm always a fan of, if you make a mistake, get back in there and show me that, and not that Montembeault made a mistake. Listen, it wasn't a great night for him by any stretch, but I just feel like you don't want a player sitting with that bad taste in their mouth for that long. Give them a chance to go out there and do something about it. Don't let it fester.
Lane Hudson on the puck. Swings it across, nobody home, and Logan Mailloux back.
I know if I ever made a mistake, which was very often, Brian, I wanted to be right back out there the next shift. But sometimes not everyone gets that luxury. So for a guy like Montembeault, I think he's earned to have that chance to just get back in there.
Final minute, Bell Center on this Tuesday night, 8-2 for Seattle. Cartier takes a look. Lost it to Hudson. He'll play it to center.
Now, the only other thing that could change that is if a player's dealing with...
Slafkovsky finishing his jack, and that was Mahura who didn't like it. And they're going to jostle. Slafkovsky put him right into the Montreal bench.
I was going to say, if you're dealing with aches and pains, that might change what your workload strategy is, and then Juraj Slafkovsky takes Josh Mahura into the bench, so he might be dealing with some aches and pains after that.
Well, you're right. Our buddy Mark Denise had a front row seat between the benches tonight. Our friend from RDS.
And if you're Seattle, you're just saying, I mean, it's 8-2. Where was that when the game was within reach? And it's a reasonable argument for sure. Juraj Slafkovsky just finishing his hit on Josh Mahura as he goes to dump the puck in. I'm fine with that. Finish your hit. Maybe the little shove to get him into the bench is a little sign of frustration after an 8-2 loss. But a little extra for sure. I can understand why Seattle wouldn't be pleased with that.
Now you see Logan Mailloux down the tunnel as well. He'll join Struble. Just 25.5 to go.
It looks like the Canadians are going to be shorthanded, so Logan Mailloux is going to get the only penalty out of that entire altercation.
But you know what? Tough game, Frankie, but we're joking, it was a good hit, but great to see Slafkovsky healthy. You know what? He joked this morning, my shoulders are fine. You guys made a big deal out of it. It's nothing serious. I'm fine. I mean, you worry about, but rust, you come back, the kind of game he plays. And, I mean, yeah, the result on the board is not good, but Slafkovsky looked strong, and he pushed play, and he looked pretty good in his return.
I mean, all things considered, it's an 8-2 loss. They were never really in the game. But Juraj Slafkovsky has shown some moments tonight where, using his body in front of the net, making it difficult for Decord on a couple occasions. He has one rush where he drives wide, a little physical play at the end. It'll be interesting to see how Marty St. Louis handles this with his group, because now it's 2 in 2 weeks where you kind of get run out of your own building.
20 seconds left in the game. Borgen across Mahura. He'll work it to Yanni Gourde. And puck to center. 10 seconds remaining. Great start for Seattle. Game 1 of a 5-game road trip. They will win 8-2, and the Montreal Canadiens will have to regroup as they head to Washington, D.C. on Thursday. Final score 8-2 and a win for Joey Decord.
One of those nights where everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for the Montreal Canadiens, especially in the early goings of this game, and a nice, clean, neat, and tidy 8-2 win for the Seattle Kraken, who start a 5-game road trip. And for the Montreal Canadiens going onto the road to Washington, looking to have a bounce-back performance similar to how they bounced back from the New York game last week.
Which brings us, Frankie, to the Molson 3 stars of the game.
Well, it's going to be a lot of Seattle Kraken. Jaden Schwartz, 1 goal and 2 assists, one of the Stanley Cup champions on this team. Chandler Stevenson, another former Stanley Cup champion, 4 assists. And Brandon Montour, the natural hat trick. Yes, another former Stanley Cup champion last year with the Florida Panthers, has a big night for the Seattle Kraken.
Your Molson 3 stars here on this Tuesday night as the Montreal Canadiens will hit the road. Washington on Thursday. Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and the Penguins on Saturday. But that's our next game. It's Ovi, Capitals, Canadiens, 7 Eastern on Molson Canadiens Hockey, available in the Habs region. A frustrating night for Samuel Montembeault and company. But in the meantime, we thank you for spending your night with us. And good night from downtown Montreal.